Hey, Jack. All right. You got this stuff?
Yeah, all cleaned and oiled.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let's get it on.
Who are these guys?
It's my theme music. Every good hero should have some.
Live from Springfield, Missouri, the one, the only, Keith Green.
Excuse me, can I get a cup of coffee? Black? Can't you see we talking? White?
Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday morning to each and every one of you. First of all, I just want to thank you for giving us a moment of your time to be able to entertain you and inform you, and hopefully you will basically hit the like button, share, subscribe, as Valiant Renegade likes to say, and just come in and have some fun. And I am happy to introduce you, if this is your first time watching and listening, to my cohorts in fun, John and Martin.
Hello.
Hey, how's everybody going?
Well, I'm doing fine. Battling a little cough, but everything's fine. Yeah. That's why I took my sweet 2 seconds to get us on screen, because I was coughing my lungs out.
I totally understand, man. That happens, but I'm hoping you were able to last through this show and many more.
Thank you. Oh,
Well,
we have an important announcement that I know you don't want to, but I do.
Yeah.
Our good friend Keith had his birthday yesterday.
What? No. Whoa. That is not news. It's already passed. It's too late.
Well, for us it is, and for the audience it is, and you deserve your song.
Hey, oh no, we're not going to sing. Hey Keith, there's this thing called belated birthday wishes. So
what? No. If anything, I if you really want to wish me a very happy birthday, just each and every person that is watching today, just share this with someone who's never seen the show or who's never commented, and share this in all the social medias, and I'll see about trying to get us on TikTok, and let's see about growing this particular show. Let's see if we can get up to, for today, let's see if we can get up to about 500 today. Let's see that.
That'd be nice.
That would be nice.
That's a nice number, 500.
500. But I think today, well, thank you, Wolverine 626. I remember 50. Wow, that was nice. Anyway,
I kind of remember 50.
I'm clinging to it.
You're clinging. Well, cling hard. Yes. But again, thank you to everybody that actually wished me happy birthday, that knew, and to all those that are just finding out. Thank you to all our friends, Facebook and YouTube and Rumble and X, formerly known as the Twitter, and all other social media. Thank you. I have received so many messages over the last 24 hours wishing me a happy birthday. And wow, that's a lot to get through. But I will get through it, and I will individually try to thank everybody. So, but that being said, yesterday about this time, we had quite a few things going on. And so today's show is going to allow us to talk about and, in certain respects, kind of react to some of the things that happened yesterday. And by things, I mean trailers.
Yeah,
So,
well,
go
before we
ahead.
get the trailers, we've got some bigger news than that.
Oh, yes. John, I will let you do the honors then.
Well, the strike is finally over.
Yes.
They agreed to a deal with the Producers Guild or the
Studios.
the studios that for the next 3 years they've got a deal in place, and so yeah, they're going to go back to work here soon. We're still going to have a large chunk of time where we've got nothing, but that's because of the combination writer strike and actor strike.
Wow. Well, first and foremost, I'm happy for everyone that they're going to get back to work and try to get this done. And while we will have a period of time where we won't have anything new, of the things that we will have, I think we're going to be very excited with a good portion of them, including season 2 of a show that, again, completely just knocked me over. I did not expect this show to do what it did, especially coming on the heels of Game of Thrones. And that was House of the Dragon.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to season 2 of that show. And I hope that the powers that be will actually pay attention this time, because they were almost everybody in the first season of that show. It was given a master class in acting, which is more than what I can say for Amazon's attempt to do something like that, especially after spending $1 billion. But I'm not going to say any names here because,
The wheel of power. that encompasses both disasters.
Leave it to Martin. Whoa,
Or the,
Martin with
or the ring of
dagger.
time, whatever you like more.
Wow. Let's see. Hold on. Wolverine 66 says SAG strike is over. Now they just need to ratify the deal to fully conclude the strike. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And you know what? Everybody in the chat. Wow. Let me just go ahead and take some time out to at least say something to everybody in the chat. First of all, we had Anima come in earlier, and she's at work. She can't join us, so thank you, Anima, and you will be missed.
Yes.
Penny
but
came
but
in.
at least she likes the new job.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's great.
That is always a plus, man.
She's playing with stuffed animals. Of course, she likes the new job.
I can't comment on that. Penny, hello, Penny. Let's see, and Mrs. A, good morning, Mrs. A. And let's see, of course, the aforementioned Wolverine 626 and Scribe Light. Thank you for the birthday wish, Scribe Light. Kingsport Kyle, hello, darkness, my old friend, he says. And a happy belated birthday from Penny. That means a lot to me, Penny. On behalf of myself and my brother, I thank you. And of course, my other twin brother, RMB. While he might not share the same birthday, it doesn't hurt. But wow, we had quite a few things drop yesterday. for me, I was very curious to see the Ghostbusters trailer because I am such a fan of the '84 film, and it's not that I hated the sequel, but in many ways I kind of agree with Bill Murray. That sequel was a little lacking. You know, I can understand what they were trying to do. Don't hate it. Not necessarily my favorite. And seeing how, good one, Kingsport Cal.
Well, technically he is. He has a twin brother, so
Yeah. Kingsport Cal is basically asking, how do they know that Keith isn't the clone? You don't. You just have to take my word. And I'm a man of my word. Yes. Let's see. Wolverine 626. Hollywood should cancel their holiday vacation plans to get back to work immediately. We took a vacation already. Why wait until January? Wow. Crap that whip.
because they're just like Congress. If they can take an extended vacation, they will.
And today is Congressional Blast, brought to you by Das Wolfe. Let's see. So yeah, I do have one confession. Little tidbit to know about me, and in celebration of certain little tidbits that Gary was putting out online the other day. Here's one you need to know. I am not a big fan of the Ghostbusters cartoon. I was a little too old, first of all, for it. But on top of that, I was just not that much of a fan. I didn't find it to be that entertaining. But then again, it wasn't made for me, you know. But I was not a fan of the Ghostbusters cartoon. So anything that even hints at it, or anytime anything gets put out or similar, you know, I'm not a fan. I for the most part, I really, 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 really love the first film, and I'm a big fan of Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to the new film, and I'm here for it. You know,
yeah. I know a lot of people said that it needed more of the original cast in it, but I think it had the perfect amount of the original cast in it.
Yes, it did. Well, they did it right. You know, They weren't trying to kill everybody off and just stick with the new cast. They found a way of working everything in a proper way. You know, Wolverine 626 asks, which one came first, Keith or his brother? That's how you determine which one is the clone.
Not really.
Is it?
That's not how that works, but okay.
Interesting view you have there, Wolverine. Let's see. Kingsport Cal says, I ate the Ghostbusters cereal. I don't really like the Ghostbusters IP in general. I can, you know what? That's fine. Not everybody can be a fan of everything. But we here on this show, we accept everyone and all your different points of view.
Yep.
Just don't be rude too much, and don't be an a-hole about it. Other than that, we're good.
That's the ultimate rule. Don't be an a-hole.
There you go.
Oh man, I'm disqualified already.
Oh, Martin, come on.
Which is ironic considering who our fearless leader is.
No. He's a dick.
Yeah, that's true. He's a dick, not an asshole. So there's that difference.
So John, what did you think about the trailer for the new Ghostbusters film?
Oh, I thought it was great. Except for until it got to a certain part, and then I was kind of. Then it got back into it, so I was okay.
Yeah,
I think I know
what
that is.
with certain
Yeah.
Certain-
Someone who has no business
Yeah.
being in the franchise.
Well, you know, he didn't get enough of that Eternals money, so
Yeah.
that's fine. You know, look, I'm here for it. I'm here for the movie. I enjoyed the cast. What about you, Martin? Having watched the trailer, what did you think?
Well, I'm gonna start for the technical part. I liked very much the photography.
Mm-hmm.
I like the colors. Man, it's nice to see a movie that is not blue. Yes, man. And well, the actors, the cast is the same mostly. And I just wanna more time with Janine and Ernie Hudson.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think they're keeping them under wraps for now.
yeah. Well, he appears. I don't know if I can't remember if I saw her, but he's in the trailer. Uh,
Yeah, but just for a second though. I mean, it's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
like he's
it looks good. It looked good. The yes, I admitted before I saw the trailer. I said the title sucks, but when you see the trailer, you say, oh no, it
Yeah.
makes sense.
yeah, it does.
So, Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire. Really, just a really cool sequel to Ghostbusters Afterlife, and it looks like, as John said, it looks like the cast is back. I know that they tried to get to work immediately on that film before any of their younger cast members hit a growth spurt. So I think for the next movie, the third film, there'll be some noticeable differences
Yes,
in the cast members.
because in
Yeah.
this one they look exactly the same, and they do not look like that anymore.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
if
Go
you've
ahead.
seen the promotionals for Stranger Things, Finn Wolfhard looks a little older.
Just a little, just a little. And look, this has been good for all of their careers.
Oh yeah.
Starting with McKenna Grace, who I always thought was a very gifted young actress, and if she stays with it, I predict even bigger things for her. Of course, Finn Wolfhard, uh, again, talented young man. Really, everybody in that cast, the cast of young performers, and they all have incredible futures ahead of them.
Oh wait! I didn't notice. Did the kid that has the podcast in the movie is he in
Yeah, the
this
kid
one
that
too?
plays podcast, and
Yeah.
yes, he is. He's in the trailer.
Yes, he was a very nice character, man.
Well, he's the Ray of the group. He
Yeah.
and Ray share a lot of similar interests. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, it looks great. Will the movie be any good? Don't know. Don't know. We got some time to wait. And considering now that the strike and everything else, I'm pretty sure when it comes out, there won't be any kind of real competition. If Hollywood is smart and they really have just, having gone through all of this, or I should say, if the studios are smart, they're going to try to spread a lot of these films out.
Man,
to-
that's
Yeah.
a big if. The
I know.
studios,
I know.
they are slow
I know.
learners.
They're jockeying for positions, and they're also using this as an opportunity to take snaps and shots at each other. But if they really want to see something positive out of a lot of this stuff, the studios are going to have to try to figure out a way of just almost trying to find their own weekend for things. And this is definitely a film that I can see coming out on a weekend when there's no real competition, and probably winning over even more people that didn't get a chance to see it from before. So, yeah, positive spins. Let's see. And then in the chat, let's see. Kingsport Cal says they need to get back on Deadpool 3. They are definitely going to get back on Deadpool 3. In my opinion, they should just go ahead and push Deadpool 3 off until 2025. Because something tells me that Kevin Feige and his people are going to they had stuff in Deadpool 3 that a lot of fans would not like.
Yeah.
And if they can hold off until 2025, we might get a shot at a Deadpool film that I think a lot more people will end up liking. So
It all depends if Nelson Peltz can make his move before then.
Yeah. Here's to Nelson Peltz. I wish you a lot of luck, especially if you're going to be teaming up with Ike Perlmutter and George Lucas. So that's the new Trinity. That's the team that could save Disney if given a chance. So,
yep.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and discuss the next trailer. Now, the second trailer released yesterday is one for a television show whose first season I really enjoyed. I think Gary really enjoyed it too. And if you've not seen it, give yourselves an opportunity once this show is over to go check it out. And that's Reacher Season 2. I thoroughly enjoyed Season 1. And the way that they are deciding to do this show by adapting or spending an entire season adapting one book, because this is all based on a series of books, I think it's just genius. Gives you time to get to know all the characters outside of Reacher himself. And to me, season 1 is so good. I really cannot wait until season 2. John, did you enjoy season 1 of Reacher?
I've only seen half of it. I haven't finished it yet. But from what I've seen, it's enjoyable. God. It's definitely much better than the movies.
and by the way, the movies weren't bad.
They weren't bad. Just that isn't Reacher.
Yeah.
The actors
that is Rich or Eacher. There's something lacking, like 2 feet of height.
Yeah, you need stilts for that.
I look, I don't care what anybody says. I think I like the movies. I like the Reacher films. Are they a perfect adaptation? No, they're not. But I think Tom Cruise definitely gives it his all, and it's one of the things I like about Tom Cruise. I think he's a guy that he doesn't care what everybody else is doing. He does his own thing, and I enjoy that, And I think if I remember correctly, the director that he's working with to make the Mission Impossible films is one of the producers of the Reacher series. So there's a tangential tie-in with Tom Cruise in that respect. I just think that it really does make sense to produce a television series based on these very, very successful novels this way. Just telling, just basically adapting an entire book over the course of the season of a show.
Yep.
Makes sense to me. So, wow. Let's see. And then
Well, Penny, enjoy.
Oh, yeah. You're going to go see the Marvels in 4 hours. Okay. So at 4 hours and 5 minutes, if we haven't heard from you, we're going to send in a task force to come get you.
Wait.
I'm going to see it Tuesday.
Wait, we have Shinatsky in the chat, so...
Oh.
Yay!
You know what? If you're one of those people that's actually going to go see this movie, have a good time. Seriously, have a good time. I hope this film is everything you could want it to be.
Oh no, I'm expecting an entire train wreck. I'm going because I have to go because I can't talk about it unless I see it.
Understandable. You and Nerdrotic both want the same thing. So I can't bring myself to give any more money to a studio that does not value it doesn't value what I really think is important about the IP. I think they've lost touch. I think many of the changes that they've made, they did on purpose and despite and in spite of fans. And if they're going to do that, Now, that said, I got nothing against the cast at all. From what I'm hearing, the cast has really good chemistry between all three of them, which is great. Especially the young woman playing Ms. Marvel.
Yeah.
I think she is cuteness personified. She radiates something that they really need very badly right now in the MCU. Unfortunately, they're not going to take advantage of it. And I hope that when the MCU gets what's coming to it, that the people that will be placed in charge of it will remember that this young lady was just doing what she was asked to do, working with the scripts that she had. I hope they will remember that and continue to keep her involved in some form or fashion. That's all I can say. The Peter Venkman fan side just kind of woke up.
And she missed. Okay, but you can always rewatch the stream.
I'm just not happy with Ghostbusters release date.
Oh, what is it?
Because they took the same. It's March 29th. They moved it to the same release date as Mickey 17, which is Bong Joon-ho's sci-fi movie.
Yes, I'm waiting for that one.
It's going to cannibalize views for that. So,
yeah. Again, that's the reason why I was saying, given what's going on right now, it might be smarter to try to get it to where certain films can actually branch out and have almost a weekend to themselves. You know.
Well, at least Godzilla has 2 weeks after Ghostbusters, so it's not right up against it.
Yeah. This is going to be a very good couple of months for Godzilla.
Oh yeah.
Because the Monarch series is in another week to 2 weeks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Week from Friday.
So, how many here have had a chance to see the snippet that they put out last week?
Sorry, a week from next Friday.
Okay, a week from next Friday. Okay. So, how many have had an opportunity to check out that little snippet that they put out outside of John?
Meaning me.
You.
No, I haven't seen anything, man.
It's good. They brought back John Goodman to reprise his role from Kong Skull Island. And look, I look at it this way. That cast already is awesome. Okay. If you've got Kurt Russell
headlining,
you've got something good coming.
And his son playing his younger
Wyatt.
self.
Yeah, Wyatt playing his younger self. I'm telling you, man. Apple's just bringing it.
Yep.
Now, Apple could have turned around and made this for $1 billion. They could have.
Yeah, but
But they
need
didn't.
to.
They didn't need to, John. John calls it again. They didn't need to. I mean, they could have, but
Yeah. And you still get all the monsters that you're going to want. Although, I don't know how much Godzilla we're going to get, but I know we're going to get a lot of monsters.
you know, I just think that that reminds me, speaking of monsters, reminds me of this story I just learned the other day about Guillermo del Toro and how he approached Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm about making a Jabba the Hutt series of films, and how Kathleen told him no.
Yeah.
They could have done one of Gardula the Hutt because it's a chick. You just only have to make her
that's
gay
true.
and lame.
All I know is that when someone like Guillermo del Toro comes to you and puts it out there that he'd like to take one of your characters and make a movie trilogy, or at least one movie with said character, I mean,
Yeah. The proper answer is yes, sir, Mr. Del Toro. You may use that character.
then again, to be fair to KK, both Warner Brothers with their DC stuff and Marvel both told Guillermo del Toro no. You know, because Guillermo went to Warner Brothers to see if he could get if they would sign off on him doing a Justice League Dark movie. And that's how J.J. Abrams came up with his wink, wink original idea to do Justice League Dark.
Yeah. Well,
And
to quote the great philosopher Red Foreman, dumbass.
oh, well then we'll see what you say about what Marvel, because before that he had gone to Marvel and asked if he could do a Incredible Hulk television series, and they told him no. So what? Double dumbass on them now?
Yeah. Double dumbass on you.
This guy loves creatures, and when you look at the work that he has accomplished, because all of this was before he won the Academy Award for The Shape of Water.
Yeah.
If you look at the work that he and his team have done with the Hellboy movies and all of his other past films, and you tell him no, I mean, you know,
I don't know who's holding it up, but whoever it is needs to get off their ass and let Guillermo do his Mountains of Madness movie.
well, you know what? Amazon's got money that they're burning left, right, and center. Toss this guy about $100 million and let him go.
Oh, geez. Yeah, he can do a lot with 100 mil.
Toss him $200 million and let him go. You know? I mean, $1 billion on a show that nobody really likes and not a lot of people watch. And yet they can't give Guillermo del Toro $300 million to make In the Mountains of Madness. Really?
Yeah.
Because $400 million compared to what they've been burning, that's not that much money. I mean, seriously, $500 million is just it's still not that much compared to what they're burning.
Look who's in the house.
Our
Good friend Chris. Hey Chris, how are you, man?
Says when I took my kid to see FNAF, the trailer for Godzilla, -1 looked great. Another trailer was Studio Ghibli. There was some Mean Girls movie. Yeah, there's a Mean Girls reboot sequel that the trailer is amazing for. A Blumhouse and Captain Marvel. Hollywood is void. Yeah. Well, again, you hit the nail on the head. You know, the problem isn't the genre. The problem really is Hollywood and those that run it are out of ideas. There are still a lot of creative, original ideas, but the people running Hollywood, they're not with it. They don't understand it. But Christopher's saying Del Toro's turned into a hack. Give him nothing. You know what? It's you're welcome to your view, my friend. I see Del Toro as someone that can be very effective.
The thing is, the Cabinet of Horrors tarnished a little his reputation, but in reality, he was just a presenter. He had nothing to do with the episodes.
Yeah, he put his name on it, kind of like Alfred Hitchcock put his name on his show. So yeah, you know.
Yeah, Alfred Hitchcock Presents. He didn't do that. He was given those.
They should have let him do the episode. It would,
And hello,
another color.
Hello, Real Wade Nation Gaming Clips. Hello to you.
Shenatsky is with Chris in this one.
Wow. Well, again, you know, if I had the money, I would give it to Del Toro and at least allow him to finish his Hellboy trilogy.
Please. Man, please. That second movie, it ends with not a cliffhanger, but a promise.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that means giving Ron Perlman money.
I don't care.
Nothing can be perfect.
It's again, it takes all kinds in life. Not every person you meet, not every person you're going to run across is going to be somebody that completely agrees with every single POV, and they're not.
I don't like him as a person, because not because his political views, but because he's so aggressive with everything and spewing bile constantly. But man, do I love his work.
Yes. You know,
that's all I have to say.
Yeah.
There have been actors that have done some pretty not cool things, and yet people have enjoyed performances with them, you know. I just think
Farnsworth. Sorry.
Sub Farnsworth. And Farnsworth says Lovecraft is hard to adapt. Give Del Toro the chance. I agree. Give him the chance. Give him the chance. Look, I will say this. Jonathan Majors, he has some problems, But if they were to announce that they were doing Lovecraft Country season 2, I'm here for it. You know, I really enjoyed Lovecraft Country. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but that was bad A. And it's better, it's more of the kind of show that studios run, you know, like what Kathleen Kennedy says about the way she runs Lucasfilm. That's more in keeping with the kind of things that they say they want to do that they don't do. To me, that is a damning piece of evidence against the way that she's been running things. I mean, how many times can a lot of these studios and people who get out there and say they are for this, that, and the other and don't do nothing but change IP that's already been there, that makes money and cause it to go in the reverse and not make money anymore? Meanwhile, you have these projects that could benefit and in certain cases use a season 2. I can see why, look, I can understand why Warner Brothers went ahead and canceled Joss Whedon's The Nevers. I can see why they did it. I wouldn't mind seeing a season 2. And when they got rid of Joss, they replaced him with a woman showrunner. In fact, someone who had worked with Joss on Buffy, going all the way back to Buffy. Why not just see what happens? Do a season 2. That would have given you a female-centric television series with a showrunner with experience who was a woman and a lot of women working behind the scenes on the show. I'm not. There's a lot of people talking out their backsides. And I look at, there's a new trailer that just dropped for an event movie on Apple, starring Austin Butler from the producers of The Pacific. And all I could think of is, Lucasfilm and KK have had the opportunity over these last few years, again, as I said before, dozens of shows that I've said this on. They've had the opportunity of finishing the Red Tails trilogy. Haven't done it. They've made no moves towards that. I get it. Force is female, that's great. But you also say that you're for people of color. You're for opportunities for people of color to work and not just in front of, but behind the camera. Finishing out the Red Tails trilogy would do that. Nothing. There's a lot of just air moving through people's mouths. And it's getting to the point where I'm just thinking, don't believe a word that they say. This whole thing about wanting to focus and help people of color achieve, people of different sexual orientations and backgrounds and women, none of this seems to be working out. I'd rather not feel this way. I'd rather go back to feeling like everybody's just wanting to be creative and make money. But it has become apparent that just isn't the case. And that's the reason why some of us are saying what we're saying. We're getting sick and tired of being basically led astray, led around by the nose. And certain people can only take so much of that before they get sick and tired of it. If you want my money, you're going to have to earn it. You know? Sorry, I didn't mean to get up on this soapbox. Wow, I'm really high up here. But it's enough to really tick me off. and it's ticked off other people.
Oh yeah.
Oh jeez. Hold on. We missed something here. Hold on. We're gonna have to go backwards here to Real Wade Nation Gaming Clips, who has decided. Well,
that's weak. Come on, Wade. That's no effort.
We're gonna have to play something though.
Oh, I don't have anything in this.
Yeah,
you don't.
Space.
No, we don't. That's a Gary thing. So
that's a Gary thing.
Yeah.
But wait, I promise you, next episode we will have a plethora of Backdoors video for you to play to annoy Keith.
Oh, to annoy Keith. Oh, I thought we were annoying Gary every single time we played one of those. That's fine. That's fine. That shows you'll at least return and watch another episode of this. Let's see. Christopher says there's a whole plethora of black-made indie films on Tubi that have been dubbed Tubi movies that is on the rise. Yes, well, you know that Tubi is actually the free platform for Warner Brothers. So that's the reason why you have all that Warner Brothers related material is on Tubi. And again, I'm glad. I'm glad they're doing it. I'm glad they put the Nevers out there. Because that really is in keeping with their boss. Now, their owner. Who basically is like, there's no reason to keep this stuff sitting on the shelf and not making me any money.
Yep.
I hope people representation here in this channel.
Kingsport Cal with it again. Where's the old people representation? I'm kind of joking. I did like the old man show, Jeff Bridges' show. Yes, was very good. I met somebody that actually worked on the show. I shouldn't say I met him. I know him. And yeah, that's the old man. Good show.
Yeah.
Kingsport Cal says, sounds like Disney is talking out their back door. For now, trust me, if things go a particular direction, it's about to be a lot of people that are going to be shown that door.
Yeah, I'll be sending Nelson my box of pink slips. Already filled out.
Oh no, Christopher, you misunderstood. Okay, Christopher says W doesn't have anything to do with them. This is pure indie filmmakers doing it for themselves. No, I'm not saying that they're making the movies. I'm just saying that's their little thing that they use to put stuff out. Okay, that's all I'm saying. It is, when you have independent filmmakers, your ability to be able to go out and actually make a movie. I mean, that's a miracle unto itself. I love stuff like that. That's any opportunity to watch anything like that is great. Support independent filmmakers because they're the studio professionals of tomorrow, or at least in the case of Marvel, they're the future lackeys.
Yeah.
For the next films that we can get away with making. Again, that's just embarrassing, is really what that is. What Marvel Studios has become is sad. Actually, it's kind of pathetic, Oh, Peter Venkman fan side. When I was in Georgia, they had some weird shows on some of the channels there. Well, that could be. Would you mind informing the rest of us what some of those shows were? Because I remember my first or second visit to Georgia, I kind of entertaining. So,
Well, Shanatsky, we're broke, so what do you expect?
Hey, Shinatsky, you just got one of those insoluble faces. I'm sorry. It's just one of those things.
have a good day, Shinatsky. Let's see. And let's see. Christopher says they're scrambling for content. Of course, yes. And Shinatsky de Toro was fun in Barry. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, let's see. I think we have another trailer that came out. And this one was before yesterday.
Oh, the
And
new
that is-
Godzilla -1. Yeah.
There you go. Okay, we will discuss the new Godzilla -1. John, buddy.
Yeah. It's awesome. That's
Look at that smile.
what can I say? Godzilla puts a smile on my face. No, I'm just glad to see Toho making movies with their own property, because they put Godzilla on a shelf for a while.
Yeah.
Till Legendary came calling and said, "Hey, well, if you're not using him," and then they saw what Legendary did, they said, "You know, we could do something." So that's where Shin Godzilla came out. Well, this new one takes all the things they've done in the past and brings it fully into the modern age, and it looks amazing. It just from the look of Godzilla in this new movie to the just the establishing shots, the CG that goes into it is, just go see it. It's
Wow.
It's December 1st. It's in a couple of weeks, 3 weeks. Yeah, I'll be there first show, but
So, from the Marvels to Shin Godzilla, you are definitely dedicated to all of this. And ladies and gentlemen, the man himself.
Yeah, he snuck in the back door.
Mr.
Yeah,
Jericho.
that's what I do. Man. I felt there wasn't enough cracker in this show today. So I wanted to lay down some stuff because I didn't know if we were going to talk about it, and I wanted to pop on because I know that Polly's coming on tomorrow.
Yes.
And I wouldn't get a chance to really talk about my reaction to the Ghostbusters teaser trailer.
Yes.
And I'm fucking angry about it. I got to be honest. That's what they decided to give us as a teaser.
Mm-hmm.
The voice of Patton Oswalt, one of the most annoying human beings, untalented motherfuckers on the planet. And they are clearly, and I talked to Keith about this last night, somebody owes somebody some favors or somebody's called in some favors because, two of the actors that are in this movie have basically screwed their careers. One of them by being part of that whole Attack Apu character on Simpsons.
Mm-hmm.
He's in it. He's not the guy who started it, but he was part of it, getting Apu removed from The Simpsons. One of the dumbest fucking things in the world. You know his name. I forget his name, Keith.
Camille, not Johnny.
Yeah, that fucking cocksucker. That's it. You get demonetized.
Wow.
And Patton Oswalt. And oh my God, some guy, I don't know him. He made a comment that he's the villain in the movie, and that he actually poisons the actual ghost or spirit, whatever it is, and then puts the poison in the hands of his dead wife's hand. I'm like, oh my God, that's so dark.
Jeez.
But the fact is, he's doing the same thing that kid from SNL did, building a career off of a dead person.
Yeah.
And it pissed off a lot of people, not just people who don't like him for his political outbursts and attacks on people with somewhat conservative values. I'm still technically a Democrat. I will always stand by that. I'm a Hubert Humphrey Democrat. And that he threw me in there because of some of the things I believe in. So fuck Patton Oswalt. I'm not sure I'm going to fucking see this movie. And I did not like the trailer. I really felt they slipped.
Mhm.
Here they are. People have been waiting for this, and that was what they put forth. Just quick glimpses of the characters we love. I didn't even see. Did anybody see Ernie Hudson? I didn't see him.
Yes,
he's in
he
there.
is.
He's in
Is
there.
he in there? It
Yep.
was so quick. I got to go back and watch it again because I feel like I
Me
missed
too.
a couple of things. But a couple of people that we follow had some negative comments to say about it. You know that again they're going for the feels, the member berries, and I'm like, I didn't feel it was that bad on that part.
Yeah.
I mean, they had an 80s song going. Yeah. No, they need, and I got to tell you, focusing on the kids is a mistake.
Well, they're the ones that's going to carry the series
they're
to the
carrying
next
nuclear
level.
accelerators on their backs. Remember that.
Yeah.
And they could destroy the city. You got a bunch of children underage that can't even carry guns, and they're carrying nuclear accelerators. And there's a problem with that.
Well,
That's sort
as
of like
long
when
as
the adults got pissed about Robin when he was created.
With-
You know,
as
a child
long
running around with a Camp Crusader.
they destroy only things less than $900 at a time, they will be okay.
They should be allowed to handle some things, but they should not be handling those packs.
They're still going to do less damage to the franchise than Ghostbusters 2016 did.
No, first of all, I don't think it did damage. I think that's why the next film did so well.
Yes.
And I keep telling people, Star Wars is dead. I'm like, no. What it is we're waiting for people that really love the franchise to come back and start making real Star Wars again. But until then, yeah, it's dead to us. It's sort of like we're kind of like that dad who's really, really angry at our son or child. I'll just say child, because that child's gone off to become a complete jackass, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we all know the story of the prodigal son. And that's going to be whatever fucking franchise it is you're upset with. It will make a comeback. Any of you guys want to argue with me on that? Debate me on that.
Oh no,
that I'm wrong on that.
I think especially for all those connected to Disney, if Peltz gets his way, there are about to be some changes. Now,
$385 million lost.
Wow.
In this last quarter. I was reading the article from Variety, even though I hate Variety and make fun of them and tag them when I make fun of them. Like, good journalism, guys. But this one, they stuck straight to the numbers. And it's like, and then on top of that, if nobody saw it, it shocked me. Guess who was sitting in with Trump yesterday? Ike Perlmutter.
Yep.
And I'm telling you, that had nothing to do with politics. That had everything to do with getting under the skin of Disney, Bob Iger, and Kevin. Kevin already sees it. That's why he made that announcement that this is probably it for him.
Yeah.
Because he knows. He sees the writing.
He wants to go to Star Wars, though. I mean, come on.
He may
but his Star Wars film, according to some, has been canceled.
Yep. He may not even make that. If Perlmutter gets power getting on the board, Kevin Feige might as well just leave Disney. He should just go. He can go right across the street and try to work for someone else at Warner Brothers. But I will guarantee you that a certain person there will only take one screw up. I mean, he's even worse than the Emperor. You only need to fail him one time, and he will. Zaslav will cut you out quick.
It's like that scene, the big dining room scene in Untouchables.
Oh yes.
When you're out in the field,
Teamwork.
you're part of a team. Teamwork.
Teamwork.
When you're at bat, that is
Single
the
man.
moment for individual success.
Yep.
Hey,
Hey, it's time for our promotional break. So here we go.
pose for Keith. I'm so sexy. I'm my Keith's nerd shirt. I'm an cod, and I like pop culture markets because they talk about sports. I hate sports.
Wow.
Yeah, for right now, Star Wars is dead. Star Trek is dead. But as you know, because Keith and I love good Star Trek, the moment they make something good, you watch. I'll watch it. When they get rid of these, when they get rid of these assholes, that Alex Kurtzman, that's when it changes. You watch, and I'll be back in spades. But I'm not going to watch a goddamn thing they put out right now. And this whole talk about a new series, not interested. They killed the one person that had me interested. Like in the next to last episode, they killed him. I'm like,
and they got rid of the one person that was capable of doing something that at least a lot of fans who have since left might be rudimentary interested in. They made sure not to have him back for anything.
Oh yeah, it phasered him to death, and it's like back to girl power thing again. It's like done with this shit, man. I'm done with it. If you want to have females on the deck, because I've never liked the fact, and you and I've talked about this a long time ago.
Yeah.
But we never really went into depth about it. Is the complaint about how TOS in one episode said that women couldn't be in command.
Yeah.
Because that's Turnabout Intruder. That's what the whole premise of that fucking episode was about. Her jealousy and envy drove her into madness because she could never be in command. So she took Captain Kirk's place. So she could play Kirk. And boy, the overacting was something else in that one, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well,
it goes down as one of the worst episodes of Star Trek, but it's still Star Trek. I always say, like, it's got Kirk, Spock, McCoy. It's like people trying to say that was terrible pizza. Was it really?
Well, if you put pineapple on it, yes, it's terrible pizza.
It's Fred Freiberger's Star Trek is what it is.
Yeah, Fred Freiberger.
And
that poor guy. He's such a God, what a dumb fuck. But you know what? I found that you can buy freeze-dried pizza and freeze-dried pineapple. And I posted about it on Facebook that I'm planning to break up the pizza into chunks, mix it in with pineapple, and put it in a bowl and serve it at parties.
You're a monster.
And see who does or doesn't eat it, and I tag Shane Moore on it. I get called blasphemous and all sorts of things. But
well, look,
no. Vateman's girl, females weren't in command, and it was. I always thought that was weak writing.
Yeah.
Because Gene Roddenberry never said that. That was all Fred Freiberger that said that. And but anyway, I the only thing that ever bothers me is not seeing females on the deck, on the bridge. What bothered me was when you get that first episode of Star Trek Strange New Worlds, and they come onto the deck, Pike does, and the camera pans around and every single seat is taken by a female and in that shot. And the security officer, the deck officer, armed deck officer, with the red shirt is a female. And I'm like, yeah, you lost me the minute you did that. Because that's bullshit. You just start, no, that's bullshit. It wouldn't happen that way. You've absolutely removed reality. And you know what the rules are with reality, right, Keith? When you're writing and making film,
verisimilitude.
it's called the suspension of disbelief.
Yeah.
And once you break the suspension of disbelief by putting something in there that is obviously not right, you've lost your audience. And that's where I stand on that. It's fucking ridiculous.
Well, also the lack of respect when it comes to the commanding officer. And in this choice,
what's her name? It's an annoying bitch.
It's almost all of them. It's the fact that everybody acts like it really is a free-for-all when it comes to the running of that ship rather than a chain of command. And if they can't get that right, because Terry Metalis did it. He had one season with Picard season 3. He brought that all back.
Yeah.
And notice how different everything was. Now,
it still wasn't Star Trek. There were so many problems with it. Because I've talked to Jim Cock about it, and he's absolutely right in calling bullshit on it. But he endeavored to try to make it as close to Star Trek as possible.
Yep. Given who was looking over his shoulder and all the rules that he had to deal with, the imposed rules.
Hoops that he had to leap through.
Good point. Hoops. So, but he look at what he was able to do, even with all that going against him. And he still produced something that not only got people interested, it made it into the Nielsen top 10 for the first time since Kurtzman took over Star Trek.
By the way, did you read what Gap After Dark said?
Wow.
Men rule Star Trek. They could have made the new Star Trek women all wear red shirts and then find an untimely delete scene.
Wow, Gap. Wow.
And by the way, Mrs. A, outstanding. I will happily eat Martin's share of pineapple pizza. Because I'm one of those people that actually likes pineapple pizza with ham, chunks of ham, not the slices. I like chunks of ham on there because it's Hawaiian. And that was the whole point of it. It's not trying to replace, and this is the funny thing. I made fun of Shane over this. Pineapple pizza isn't trying to replace pizza. What are you making a big deal about this for? But it's a gay thing with him. It's something funny he does. I love Shane. But I will eat the shit out of pineapple pizza.
I think
what were you guys talking about before I came in here? I'm so sorry. I just woke up at like 10:30.
Yeah. Well, we were actually going over. We had just gone through the Reacher season 2.
Reach around.
And we were talking about Godzilla, or I should say the Monarch series, which will be out.
Holy shit. I can hardly wait to see that.
Oh, wow. That looks so much fun.
I'm telling you, by the way, I talked with Del Dye, I meant to put the episode out today, but I didn't want to interrupt you today. So I'm going to post it tonight. I will be posting the full interview with Dale and Commander Cobra and me tonight.
Cool.
On this channel. Dale and I talked, and Apple Plus, and this is more proof of what you and I talked about, that they are the single most adventurous producing studio right now.
Yep.
They have the lowest numbers for what do you call it? Where people sign up.
Yeah, sign in numbers.
They've got the lowest. But look at the production values and the quality of writing. I'm not saying every show is great, because it's not. I've seen some of their stuff and it's crap. But they're trying to put good stuff out. And they're working on a deal with Dale. And they may end up producing the film that I worked on. And that was the news he gave me. And I'm just stoked about that.
I know you've heard this, but one of the things concerning the future of Disney with Nelson Peltz is that Peltz, it is rumored, is looking to ultimately bring Disney back so they can at least set it up to eventually be sold to Apple. If Apple is doing what they're doing right now with Apple TV and a lot of the productions they have, just think of what Apple could do running Disney. You know, they're not interested in trying to leapfrog. They are trying to build a brand and build an audience, and that takes time. You can't buy that. That is not something that you can spend a lot of money and get it done in a year. You build that over time. And it's going to take a while. But their willingness, first of all, they would be out of business if they didn't have money. They can afford to take their time, which is great. That says something right there, that they are not freaking out about being in last place. You know, if you look,
they're in it for the long game.
That's right.
And I like that. You and I have talked about that shit before. When you see somebody that gets it and they're in it for the long game, that you don't see them rushing to anything.
Yep.
And
I think that's the reason why, I personally like Zaslav. He's not trying to go short term. Now, do I like it? A lot of his recent ideas as far as how he's doing stuff with the DCU doesn't matter. In the end, if Gunn fails him one time, Gun's out.
Yep.
Well, I predict he's already out. I think that he's being problematic since he's been in there.
Yeah.
I'm of the ilk that says that he's not doing what he's supposed to do, and he's coming up with ideas that I don't think are going to fly. Like,
and then then he's out. And that's what. Look, you've got to, for anybody that's interested in just wanting to smack certain people around, you got to love Zaslav. Because he's the only person in Hollywood who has this power. He doesn't need a board to tell him what to do. If a board tries to tell Zaslav what to do, he'll fire the board. He's got that kind of power.
Yep, absolutely.
And then you have someone like Bob Iger envies that in a sense, because Bob Iger still has hoops he has to jump through.
Well, he's trying to mop up with a dirty rag. And if you don't know what I'm saying that he created all these problems, and saying that he's trying to clean it up, a mess that he created, but he's trying to clean it up while still making a mess.
Yep.
He's not fixing a goddamn thing, and he keeps bringing in wrong people. Yep. Every single member of that board, none of them have entertainment backgrounds. Not one. They're business people.
Mm-hmm.
None of them with any entertainment background. That's on purpose. He did that. They're all personal hires by him. The only person who wasn't is who. And this guy's coming for blood.
Oh yeah. He's not stopping for nobody.
He's not fucking around. And he's bringing Ike Perlmutter back.
Yep.
Perlmutter's still not happy with what happened. And I'm not either now that I look back on it, because that's when everything went woke, the minute he was gone.
Well, they told a lot of stories about this guy. And again, I've said it on the show before. I'm one of those people that ended up believing some of the stuff that they were putting out about him.
I did too. I bought that because you and I talked about this shit. Oh man, he was preventing him from doing this, and he wouldn't let him do that.
Yeah.
Oh, this was all inside bullshit created by Feige, and because he wanted to work with what's her fucking face,
Victoria
Alonso.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm telling you, man. I did say this a long time ago. He wears a hat like he's a nerd. He's not a nerd. He's not one of us. You and I talked about this 2 years ago, saying that.
Yeah.
Stop believing in him. He is not one of us. He bought into what she was wanting.
Yeah.
Alonso.
Too easy. You know, the moment he agreed
He'd be
to
fired.
her, the moment he agreed to allow her to rename the X-Men, everybody should have seen that as a gigantic red flag.
Well, it was for those of us who know how to look. You know, you and I have this thing. You, and this is the thing. It's like I see behavior. I see, and I start putting things together based off of that.
Mhm.
I listen to things that people say, how they say it, and I can read a room probably better than anybody. And
Mhm.
that's why it was so easy for me to predict that Bob Iger was going to fucking come back, because I watched what they were doing. But I had no idea just how deeply involved he was in cock blocking
Chapek.
Chapek. He really did. I don't like Chapek, but I think that Chapek was on the right track.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, Iger screwed him. And he screwed him by hiring only friends on his board. And that's what fucked everything up. So once again, the guy, remember when we made fun of they showed the three faces of Marvel? You know, phase 4 was a failure, but the next phase is going to be better. Said the same people who screwed up phase 4. You know, I'm like, that's the problem. You can't keep the same management and expect to change.
That's right.
And
that is the definition of insanity.
yeah, you know, and what is this? I loved her telling the story of how she had to sit down and lecture her boss, which is so idiotic that I'm amazed she can remember how to breathe.
It's true. You look, I'm pretty certain that her calling out Chapek was what got her fired. You know, and as well it should
That's
be.
what they were looking for. They were looking for the one opportunity to do it.
Yeah. Well, it's like Cameron Pasha likes to say, when you come for the leader, when you come for the king, you better not miss. That was her opportunity, and she whiffed, and so she's out.
Yeah.
You know,
You just, you know, God, man. But I told you he was cuckold when he didn't fire her immediately.
yeah.
After she talked shit about him, I said he has no power now. He got his one fire in, and Bob Iger absolutely put a cap on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, you know, he wasted the bullet on the wrong person.
Yeah. Well,
And
I still
of
think.
course, I'm talking about Chapek for
Yeah.
you guys. He had one bullet. He had one bullet, and he shot the wrong person.
I still think there was no way he could have taken out Feige, and KK was just a.
John's asleep.
Oh, okay.
In the army, if you're caught dozing in class, they'd make you do push-ups and make you stand up. Army was so mean. Those drill sergeants.
It's it's
You were
just
due, John. Keith's done it on so many shows. You were due.
I just think that overall, when they write that all-encompassing book about how not to do business and get to the book all about Disney during this period, I'm hoping that they could stuff that filled with just all kinds of really juicy stories to let all these students understand that this is not how you do things. You know, this is Disney's just really just going the wrong direction at this point. And as a company, as a massive company, they need to be run by people that need to get this company back up and running.
They have to. You need somebody who knows entertainment.
Yes, but on
understands how to. If you've got a franchise, how to
Mhm.
nurture that franchise, because
Yep.
You and I've talked about this before. You have to treat the film as a cash crop, yes, but the actual crop is the audience.
That's
You
right.
have to nurture the audience, because that that property has zero value without that audience. That is what they forgot about Star Wars. They had a built-in audience that had made them billions of dollars, but then they started making movies that went against that fan base that got them all that money. Because where's the most of the money coming from is not from just the merchandise. It's from the multiple viewings of a film and the purchases of those films.
Yep.
And you and I, how many times have I seen Star Wars, also known as A New Hope? I've seen it over 100 times.
At least since 77.
Yeah. Over 100 times. And I went to see even the first Force Awakens in the theater. I saw it 20 times.
Yeah.
And I went to see the next film twice. Because the first time I wasn't sure I hated it. And then the second time I wrote a list, everything I fucking hated about it. And but I knew we were in trouble when he did that little sexy pose with the post-it note that says your Snoke theory is garbage or whatever he said.
It's wrong. Yeah.
It's wrong.
You cannot move forward destroying all the things that make your company money. And when you look at Pixar now, when you look at Lucasfilm, when you look at Marvel, you can't be successful destroying all that stuff.
No.
And then, and again, I know people that have contacted me after I said, I wouldn't mind them bringing back the original Avengers. But Keith, it's a lot of money. Calculate how much money Kevin Feige and Victoria Alonso wasted just on the films that they made in phase 4 calculate how much money they spent on top of what they originally had scheduled to spend for each original film they had, and look at how much you got there. That's more than enough money to bring back the entire original cast of the Avengers.
Yeah, but at this point, they'd just be throwing good money after bad.
Not really. Here's the difference. That Robert Downey Jr. is not going to come back for a really sad script. Money doesn't mean anything to him.
No.
So he's going to want input on the script, and he's going to want input on the director. If they say no to either one of those, he's done. Now, with Scarlett Johansson, you just need to meet her price. I know she's pissed, but you give her enough money, she will come back.
And she is a fan favorite.
That's right. And she knows it.
That's why so many people were pissed at the Black Widow movie.
That's
right. It was a waste of talent. The story they should have told should have been a prequel story that was kind of a Jason Bourne story.
Yeah.
Should have been Budapest.
It should have been something. All I know is the way you set that character up, especially when you see her in Avengers, the first Avengers film, that version of the Black Widow is not who is in the Black Widow movie.
Nope.
That is a completely different person.
And don't get me wrong, I really liked her dad. He was fucking cool.
Yeah.
He was funny. But everything else was just off with that movie. Very disappointing film. Fans were disappointed, and so was the box office. I want to go over, because I see you listed a couple other films. Fall Guy. Did you talk about that yet?
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay. I fucking loved it. Lady V, what's up? She knows me, Jagari. Don't tell Don that he wasn't the one who said it first, because the first person who said that was Clobbery. And that's right. That's my nickname for Clobby, and he loves it. Because it sounds like slobbery. Clobbery. I love Clobby, man. But anyway, no, one, I want to get out of the way. I was underwhelmed by the Jack Reacher trailer.
Mm-hmm.
I just was like, doesn't look interesting to me. How did you do that? How did you take such an interesting character and find a way to make it less interesting? So I know they weren't going to bring back the characters from the first one because they're doing the books.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was very disappointed with that first trailer. I'm hoping the second trailer brings up the amperage.
Yeah, I hope so too.
But the Fall Guy, my only complaint first I let go of, which was I wanted to hear Lee Major's song. And I was ecstatic when I read that a month ago that he was Lee Majors is prominently in the film. As they said, he's technically a co-star in the film. You don't see that with the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the trailer. There were a lot of moments that left smiles on my face while I'm watching it. Even Anima loved it when she watched it. And it was like, this is going to be a fun film, I think.
Well, for a lot of you under the age of 30, you have to understand The Fall Guy was a hit show for a reason. It had a very simple plot, but it was very effective given who was in the show. And
somebody put D. Bud Martin in timeout. Just kidding.
Oh, wow.
Fuck you, Martin. Not you, Martin. That guy, D. Bud. I'm telling you, man, I've painted portraits of famous people all around the world. I've done sculptures for Blade Runner, stuff like that. I painted movie posters, book covers. I've won. I've been told that I have the highest number of military awards for book covers. For books that I did the covers for. I've done all that, and I suck one dick. And what does everybody call me?
Gary.
Gary, Gary, Mister. But anyway,
I'm hoping that this is a good movie. I'm hoping it is really and truly.
If the trailer says anything, it's going to be fun.
Yeah,
I absolutely started laughing my ass off when he's about to take that jump, and he goes, "Nope, nope, nope. I'm going to go take the stairs." And I was like, that is such a Lee Majors moment. I really loved that moment. And I'm like, oh my God, they got the humor of the show. And then they start shooting at him, and he goes, he has to do the jump. That was so
funny. I'm hoping that they also mix in elements of the movie Hooper. Because Hooper is one of my favorite
there's a lot
movies.
of scenes from Hooper in The Fall Guy, the original.
Yep.
In fact, a lot of films that he what's his name? Badham, right?
That was a not Badham wasn't the director. It was Burt Reynolds' old friend.
I thought that was him.
No. He's a former actor, former stuntman.
Yeah, I thought it was Badham. Wasn't he a former?
Not John.
So I gotta go back. I think I'm confusing him with someone else. Hold on, give me a second.
Are. John Badham's a different director. Because he directed Blue Thunder. John Badham did, and
that's it. What is his name? I'm trying to find Hooper, and I can't find it.
Hal Needham.
There it is. Found it. 78. Directed by Hal Needham. Badham Needham. Get it?
Yeah.
Badham Needham. Yep. Hal Needham.
Hal
and Burt were just really good friends. Former stuntman. Loved to make action films with crazy stunts in it.
Loved to laugh. And you don't see those kinds of filmmakers anymore. The thing about Hal Needham is that he was not one of these filmmakers that required, if Hal Needham were a director today, he would not be one of those filmmakers that needed $100 million. He didn't need that. What he needed was enough money to make the movie, and then he needed his creative freedom. Because a lot of the stuff, they were serious about stunts, meaning that they didn't.
Yeah, the stories were built around the stuff.
Yes. But they were serious about it, meaning they took all the precautions necessary. And what he did as a director, what was smart, was he allowed all the actors to act. He allowed them to do what they do and spent more time working out so that nobody got hurt.
Wolverine, I got to tell you something. If you've never seen the fucking show as an adult, it was comedy.
Yeah.
Lee Majors loved that. He wanted to have something lighthearted.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm quite fine with the comedy because that one scene in particular that I just mentioned is absolutely a Lee Majors kind of thing. And Gap, just to let you know, because I saw Gap's comment, Lee Majors, according to the trades, is in the film prominently, not just a cameo. I think it was Deadline that said that he is like a co-star in the film. So I'm hoping that's true. We won't know until we see the film, but I'm hoping the reports that he is prominently featured in the film is true. Because that guy's in his 80s and he's still acting like he's in his 50s.
Yeah.
I mean, he played Bruce Campbell's dad.
Yeah, that role was awesome.
I was lucky enough to meet Lee Majors a few years back.
Oh God, here comes one of those Keith stories.
Fine, I won't tell it.
I love these stories.
No, I was just gonna say, it was great. And for me, it was definitely meeting the $6 Million Man, or if you're a Big Valley fan, Heath.
Heath, yes, the Big Valley.
Oh,
I love that show, man. I love that show.
Good show.
Western TV was so outside of Star Trek and Battlestar Galactica. I watched a lot of Western TV.
Yes,
and there's a lot in common.
Yes,
with the sci-fi we watched. Battlestar Galactica was a Western in space.
Yes.
They even have a gunslinger episode. Remember that?
Yep.
That Cylon. That was a great episode.
The Big Valley.
I say that. It was great to my 14-and-a-half-year-old mind. I have not seen it since I was like 14.
A lot of that does not age well. And
I worry about that because what was that first movie with Goldie Hawn and Chevy Chase? Not
Seems like old
second
times.
one. No, that's the second one. The first one where he's a cop in San Francisco. And she witnessed a murder. It was supposed to be all Hitchcocky, and I loved it when I was a kid. I made the mistake of watching as an adult going, oh, this is not good at all. Like if you love something as a kid, really think about it before you try watching as an adult because it can get ruined for you.
Yeah.
Ruined, Brian.
Yes.
I have to disagree with you about the Battlestar Galactica not being aged well 100%.
No, not all of them.
I showed that. I watched that show with my youngest daughter 3 years ago, and she liked it so much that she refuses to see the remake.
Well,
she's in love with the version of the 80s.
This is, because I'm going to tell you, a mistake I made was showing Star Trek, the original series, to my daughter after she'd already seen the movies. And I shouldn't have done that. I screwed it up.
Yeah.
So she's a fan of the TOS cast, but only in the movies. She could not handle watching the series.
Wow.
And, but with your daughter and you seeing it, that's actually really good, but that doesn't prove anything what Keith and I are saying is wrong, because they don't age well for adults. Because once you grow up and try to watch that stuff, it's hard to watch some of those episodes.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's hard to deal with a lot of the reused footage after a while. I mean, 3 or 4 episodes where you reuse stuff, that's great. But if you go through the entire show and you're reusing footage after a while, you start recognizing things. It takes away some of the urgency of some of the scenes, because now it's like, oh, okay. You realize it takes you out of the moment. And so I understand why they did it, because it was a very expensive show at that time to make, and nobody was doing anything like that. But once you get to watching the same scene where you see the Cylon Raiders coming towards the camera and they do this whole wave thing where the first wave goes down, you see that second wave hanging back, and then or the scene of how they blow up when they're shooting, and it's like you can only do that so many times, and then after a while it just, and again, I don't hate the original Battlestar Galactica at all. I love it. It's great. It's got a great backstory. It's got a great mythology. And I love
that's why they kept it for the new film too.
That's right.
Or the new series, I should say. But I got to tell you, the biggest weakness of Battlestar Galactica was the guy running it that created the show. Because as good as he was at writing episodic television, he didn't understand science fiction at all.
Yeah.
And it just, what's his name? Larson?
Glenn
A.
Larson.
Great writer. I mean, his work on, cop shows, detective shows of the 60s and 70s, great stuff, man.
Mm-hmm.
But when it came to science fiction, he was outside of his element.
Mm-hmm.
And you could see it in the writing.
Well, it's like the people that ran the NBC series Heroes. You create this really cool premise, but you got to understand you're dealing with comic book related type superheroes now. If you have no background in that, you're going to be hurting. And look what happens. You go from season 1, which is all this great stuff, to season 2, and it fell flat. You can't. If you're going to mess in that realm, you need to be very familiar with how a lot of things work. You don't need to be an expert in it, but you need to understand what you're doing. And Galactica 1980 is definitely an example of how you had somebody that, in Glenn A. Larson, that just didn't get it. Galactica 1980 is a really good example of how badly Battlestar Galactica went. And because you disrupted what the show was. It was a balance between his limited understanding of science fiction, the way, what he could afford to tell in the types of stories that he had, but also with the cast that he had. In coming back for 1980, he disrupted all that.
And who, by the way, who was your favorite?
Who was my favorite character or Starbuck?
Character or actor?
Starbuck. Well, okay. Character actor.
Yeah, that's
Dirk
mine.
Benedict. Yeah. Dirk Benedict was fun to hang out with.
He's why I started watching A-Team.
Oh, yes. Well, I mean, really, I've met the 2 lead actors from that. I've met and hung out with.
Oh,
both of them.
Richard Hatch. God rest
Richard
his
Hatch
soul.
was fun. He was a fun dude.
I like that he was in the new series too.
Yes,
he played kind of a villain.
And I'm hopeful that the new series that they have on the way for Battlestar Galactica will take advantage of the other side of everything.
Go back to the original, more hopeful show.
Yeah, if you make it
don't fuck up the ending.
Try to now hang it on the more mythological side. Everybody's seen all the science fiction stuff. We've seen that. Now go to the other side there and try to do something a little closer to mythology and try to go that direction. Because if you're going to try to follow the reboot, you're not going to accomplish very much.
No, you're not.
I mean, you're just not going to.
They couldn't even get it right. They by the final 2 seasons, it was just it got a little ugly for me.
So,
but hey, I want to go through some of these chats you got.
Yeah,
Shinatsky, you're talking with Keith and I. So, in particular, do not say Star Trek actors. Say Star Trek Next Generation actors. Because that's not Star Trek, it's Next Generation.
Yeah. Wasn't a couple of Star Trek actors in there? Like, wasn't Nichelle Nichols? Didn't she do a voice?
She did cameos, but the actors.
She was one of the main cast. The main cast was Next Gen.
Next Gen became part of the cast. You had 2 members of the Next Generation cast that were main cast members of the show.
Then comes the next question, by the way, Lady V Elements. Is there a live action Gargoyles yet? No, but it's apparently on the way. And I didn't see any fans of the series that were excited about it.
Yeah.
Nobody. I saw nothing but negative shit about it. Next comment, Battlestar Galactica did great in their production because it was rushed, in my opinion, 1978 version. It was rushed because they were riding on the coattails of Star Wars. And in fact, there were lawsuits involved because of Dykstra's involvement and the soundtrack.
Yeah.
And there were issues with it. An interesting thing, the original Vipers, as I recall, were, which one? I'm trying to remember which one came first, Buck Rogers or Battlestar?
Battlestar.
Sorry.
Because I know that the ships, that was it. Yeah, because the ships in Buck Rogers were the original design for the Vipers.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they inherited. That's what it was. Because that was what they were supposed to be flying.
Mhm.
They didn't like it. They wanted something closer to Star Wars with more wings involved. So
Mhm.
they got the tri-wing Vipers, or the Viper 2.
Mhm.
So it's really cool. And I do like that in the new series that Moore did, that they kept that look for the Vipers. I didn't like the new Cylon Raiders at all.
No, with that they were ugly.
Terrible design. They should have stuck with the original design and made it a little more modern. I hated the sickle shape. It was dumb. Let's see. Gap After Dark says Battlefield Galactica. Oh, yeah, that's right. And then Tim says Gary didn't age well.
Oh,
To
gee.
that, I say, fuck you, Tim. I didn't age well. It's true. You're just stating the obvious. The classic best Battlestar Galactica or the new one? Which one? I got to tell you, Tim, as much as I enjoyed the new one, all the way into the last 2 seasons, I still feel that it lacked the heart that the original series had. That despite the bad writing, I really felt that it had a lot of heart. Characters that we loved. And they're names that stay with you to this day. Starbuck, Apollo, Athena,
Well, it kind of helps. They named them after Greek deities, so
Yeah. Well,
Except for
it's that
Starbuck.
whole relationship to our mythologies.
Yeah.
That's where they came from. And I'm not a fan of Battlestar Galactica in 1980.
I don't think there are very many people that are.
No,
I always
they-
felt bad because I love the actors in it.
Yes.
We got Adama back, but
however, the 2 last episodes were good.
Yeah, but I also
Only the 2 last episodes.
I think 12-year-old me liked the flying motorcycles. That was a nice addition. But overall, it would have been great if they'd been able to negotiate to get the entire cast back, and they weren't able to do that.
And better writers.
Well, I mean, again, they lost a lot of people. When they canceled the show, what had happened was, just like with Star Trek, they figured out they made a mistake and tried to scramble and get everything back. That's what led to Galactic in 1980. It wasn't like they came back to them and was like, give us another chance, and they said yes. ABC figured out they made a mistake and tried to get everything back. And by the time that
they didn't even have time slots for it. You never knew when it was going to be on.
That's right. They realized they had made a mistake, and by the time they tried to negotiate to get everything and everybody back, many of the actors were saying no, or they were on to other shows. And so
Richard Hatch, I don't know what he was doing, but I know what Dirk was doing.
Oh, Dirk was,
And so they couldn't really get them back. And so what they did is they upped it a few years, making everybody older. And Boxy was an adult now. And that was Kent McCord's character.
Yep.
Yeah.
What was he? Lieutenant Commander Troy.
Yep.
And that was Boxy, who was a kid in the original Battlestar Galactica. And of course he had his what was it?
Daggett.
Daggett. Also, to this day, I still say frack.
A lot of
Yes,
people,
everybody
It's not
does.
from the new BSG. It's from the original. 1978, they had cuss word on TV.
and
frack.
they did it. That one, along
What
with
the frack are you doing?
Feldercarp.
Feldercarp's another good one. I mean, there are 3 curse words that I use that are from sci-fi shows, and 2 of them are from Battlestar Galactica. The other being from the other one being from Farscape, which is Frel. I use Frel every so often.
Yeah. You know what mine is, but it doesn't come from any of those. It comes from another film. And I still do it. I still do it every once in a while. When I'm around company and I try to watch my language, I will say, mother puss buckets.
That's a good one. That's Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters. Smeg. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, I think I was I'd been watching that show and had no idea what fucking smeg meant until I was in my 20s. And I learned the word smegmatic.
Oh,
Smegma. And I went,
yeah.
and then I'm sitting there reading this and I'm like, wait a minute. Oh my God, that's what they were referring to when they would say smeg. And I fucking lost my mind making that connection while I was in college. I was still in the Army, but I was going to college. And I just was like, wait, what? That's what, oh my God. Oh,
got away with it.
It's, and it leads to a joke that I made way years ago. Somebody says, well, what kind of cheese is that? And I said, it's ripened wino dick cheese, freshly scraped.
God
And
damn.
little did I know that that's part of smegma. Yeah, I love it's like my mom. I don't know about your mom. My mom, she like turned to me one day and because I said, you need to watch your mouth. And she goes, I don't cuss. I said, yes, you do. You just use other words that have the same meaning.
Busted.
She would say, yeah, she was busted. She would fudge. So my mom was a lot like Scott, just didn't cuss. She'd say fudge, crap.
Hello, Tig.
Hey, Teague's here. What's up, buddy?
The Admiral.
I tried to tell you.
Yeah, you're too late now. You're too late, man. We're done talking about Star Trek. You missed it. You had your chance. You had your chance. Oh,
Nobody
Tim says
believes
he
that.
says smoo every so often.
Okay.
But smeg is definitely one that I didn't use it. I've never used it, but I've used the word smegmatic. People, I said, you're rather smegmatic today.
I used smeg for a while in college,
So you're one of those hipster geeks.
Who, me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he was kind of a hipster.
No, I
Okay,
wasn't.
did you guys talk about the Marvels yet?
No.
No.
I heard it's not doing well, not tracking well.
No
Anybody
way.
got anything?
I'm shocked. I'm shocked.
I'm not shocked. I expected that. I don't think so, but I'm not. I think she's working. She has a job now.
Yeah,
She got a
she's
new
yes.
job.
working. She's playing with her stuffed animals at work.
Yep. And I'm looking forward when she's off because we're going to hang out today.
Oh, wow.
But I just don't expect it to track well. I don't. I expect that this is just part of their implosion.
Yeah. This is a part of it. This is really going to be helpful in making that final decision about bringing back the original Avengers. I'm telling you right now, they should just go ahead and call the rest of it and just concentrate on just making an Avengers movie. Make up some sort of dumb whatever, put together a reason to get everybody back, make one good movie, and call the whole thing.
Ditch
The
the
they
whole
should just
Kang storyline and just jump into Secret Wars.
if they have
and
to do that,
I got to tell you, the last good Marvel film was not in 2019. It was 2018 because the 2019 film got screwed up by politics, and you got the A-Team scene. And I remember watching that right here at the what's the theater?
Alamo?
AMC.
Oh.
AMC.
yeah.
And the distinct sound of from people in the audience, you could hear it. It was like, if it wasn't crickets, it was the sound of people's auditory disappointment. When the A-Team scene, just ridiculous, over the top, sexist crap. And you don't understand, that you're being sexist when you do shit like that. They think we're being progressive. No, you're being sexist. It's sort of like these woke people think that black people need to step up, don't realize they're being racist. when they do that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, black people can't make it on their own. They need white people to save them.
Or
Keith, are you all in on that? Are you all in on that?
Or better yet, hey, we need to take this white character and make them a black character so that we can give black.
Because we don't have any black characters.
Oh man.
Oh God!
Geez.
How many face palms have we had to do since 2019, man?
You know, I was white when I started face palming myself, so that should let you know.
You're black now. You beat you knocked the white right off the screen.
right under the palm of my hand.
There was a movie that came out, and I can't remember if it was Ali that said it first, but I will hit him so hard I'll knock the black off him. Wasn't that Ali that said that?
I think so.
I think he was talking about Joe Frazier. Back when he hated Joe Frazier. Joe Frazier.
Yeah. I'm so bad I make medicine sick.
There you go. Keith is an intelligent black man, end quote. Just no, that's a dig at the people who say that.
Yeah.
You know, that it's like there aren't intelligent black men. Is that what you're saying when you say that? That's what he's talking about.
Yeah, I know.
Like, oh, you're a rare breed, Keith, an intelligent black man.
Hey, Sex in the house.
Zax, what is up, buddy?
Zax.
You got the video queued up for Tim and him?
No.
Why not?
Because
You had it like 45 minutes. Nothing. I mean, Tim got here, nothing.
Let me be.
Let you be what? Are we in the wrong studio? That's why. You got us in the wrong studio, brainiac.
No, this is the right studio.
This is the right studio.
Very much
That's
so,
the wrong
Lady V.
We'll go back in a
much
second.
so.
See, you every single time I put a background up for Military Monday, I also put the same background in. You know what that's called?
Yeah, it's called.
Three
We talk
Ps.
about
3 Ps. It's
We
the 3
talk-
Ps.
with
Piss poor planning. There you go.
dude. This studio.
Hold on. I'm going to get this shit done quick. Where's the other one? Where's the one for Tim?
I think he just played it. Hey,
No,
Gary,
that
could you,
Kyle.
oh, Kyle? Okay. Could you, if you're going to play him, could you also play? We also have one from earlier. Somebody made a backdoor reference.
Oh,
so-
of course.
Yeah.
By what name are you known?
There are some who call me Tim.
There you go.
Maybe we only need like 3 stink bombs. You better give me the other ones.
Okay, I drop these 3 stink bombs, smell out the joint, and slip out the back door.
That would be 2 for backdoors.
Oh, we got another
2?
backdoor reference?
Oh, here we go.
Strong.
I'm gonna go check the back door.
Back door.
One from Wade and the other for Kingsport.
All right, so we're back here, and we got the proper stuff up. All right. Doing Martin's job for him.
Dude, you have that other studio
Dude, you're
full.
racist. Racist.
Full. You have that studio full of videos that I cannot upload anything else.
I know. It's great.
No, it's not.
Let's talk about what you and I talked about last night, Keith.
Yeah.
Highlander.
Yes.
And
Okay.
you had a suggestion for Ramirez,
Yeah.
and
I
had
said
one.
that. I said that it would be interesting to have someone like Remy Malek because he would appear to be Egyptian.
Yeah.
I know he's not, but I mean, he would appear to be. And I know he is younger, but you don't have to go with the whole having him be older. I mean, he's older by virtue of how long he's been alive. Because by the time he catches up to Connor, you know, he has been alive quite a while. And so having Remy Malek as that, but then Gary had to come in and go, with his suggestion, and it just changed.
Hold on.
everything.
I will don't say what it is yet.
No, I'm not.
I'm getting an image, and I will share this image. Let me share screen. Present. I'm presenting, guys. This is who I said is at the right age. He's already played an Arab, and so he can pull it off.
I think we have the same person in mind.
And I think that he's already proven he's very good with the sword.
Yep.
Antonio Banderas. And we have him right here in the studio. Antonio, what do you think?
I think it's a great choice.
Antonio, are you going to say anything? Nothing? Mr. Banderas?
What?
There you go. Thank you.
Oh, you're talking to me. Oh,
yeah, no shit.
Well, yeah, could work, but I would always go with Adrian Paul.
Adrian, it actually is one person I said that if they ever did a movie about Sean Connery, should play Sean Connery.
Mm-hmm.
Because he
looks way too much like him.
The accent, and he looks like him.
He looks
be
way
only
too much
Omi. Somebody mistyped.
Yeah, it was Admiral.
Ewan McGregor.
No.
Oh no.
No, man. Adrian Paul as Ramirez. That would be my preferred choice.
Look, don't get me wrong. It'll never happen. Antonio Banderas is, I think, more right for the role because he is an Egyptian Spaniard. My name is Juan Sanchez Ramirez Valdez.
But by the way, the bad guy, the mercenary.
He's already got an amazing accent.
The mercenary pilot on Firebirds looks too much like Sean Connery. I couldn't see him in the movie thinking hot shingles.
Yeah. Puppet. Yeah, he did.
I saw him and my mind went to hot shingles.
Hot shingles. Yeah, if you go back to even the earlier series or the later series, Captain Scarlet. Captain Scarlet is intentionally made to look and sound like Cary Grant.
Yeah. Yes.
Adam Driver as the villain. No.
If you're gonna have for Highlander, if you're gonna have
giant,
you need the guy who played the Mountain. That guy.
Can he act? I don't know if he can act. Can he?
Yeah, but if you're gonna redo it, spend more time with Connor McLeod telling that story, and only use Kurgan because Kurgan
visually
as a threat, as a force of nature. He comes in, make him almost like Dracula in that sense.
But then what happens when we get the car scene? Hello.
Well, that's not too hard to.
Hey, Ma. Oh my God, Clancy Brown! I became such a fan of his because of that fucking movie.
Yeah, I know.
I would just scarf up anything he was in. When
he does the candles, when he starts putting out all the candles. I am in disguise.
Yes, Wolverine. I have said that
the nun
should be the Kurgan.
Oh, Scott Adkins is a Shinatsky. That's a really good choice. Scott Adkins as Kurgan. Yes.
It's big enough though.
You almost don't have to be if you play off of the.
I think that's what's really great about the Kurgan.
That he's physically
Goliath.
Yeah. True
character to McLeod's David.
Well, to everybody, he's a force. That's part of the reason why, as everything starts to come
he killed my teacher.
Yeah, he's killing everybody, and he's getting really. You can see physically that this guy is built to do nothing but kill, and that if he wins the prize, humanity will suffer an eternity of darkness.
Yes.
If you think about it, he looks like he's the first child between a Neanderthal and a Cro-Magnon.
It's difficult to find somebody that big that can act. In fact, I'd almost even go for the guy that Robert Downey Jr. fought in the first Sherlock movie. That big French guy.
Well, I'm going to point something out to you that with the original film, you have a Scotsman playing an Egyptian Spaniard and a Frenchman playing a Scotsman, and his accent was just awful in the film. It was one of the biggest pet peeves that critics had was his accent.
An American Frenchman.
But here's the irony: a lot of people don't know this. Is that Christopher Lambert, as he goes by now? He used to be Christopher Lambert, and but it's Lambert. Was born in New York.
Yep.
He was not born in Belgium or France. He was born in the United States, and he is an American citizen.
Yep.
And a lot of people were like, "Wait, what? No, that's true. Go look it up." I love Christopher Lambert. I enjoyed his films until he started tanking in the late '90s.
Well, part of that is because his health is not that great. In fact, as of right now,
Is that what was going on that was killing his career?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
because
he was blind.
He's blind,
Yeah.
basically. He wears glasses full time. He can't see without his glasses, and that's part of the reason why it was getting harder and harder to make the Highlander films for him, because he had.
Well,
to
he damn near
learn-
cut his fingers off in one
Yeah,
scene
well-
in that second attempt at a sequel, or the second film that he attempted a sequel.
He was very dangerous to be with, even for stunt performers, because he had to learn the exact movements and repeat those exact movements, because without his glasses he can't see. And so
I
his
never knew that.
His eyesight and health have progressed to a point where it's almost now he can't act anymore. And so I feel real bad to hear that he's not in good health, because I've always enjoyed his performances. I really enjoyed him in Greystoke. I really enjoyed him in Mortal Kombat. And I just think that he should at least, I think they should just go ahead and have a cameo. And I'm pretty sure that they may consider having him in for a cameo. But overall, I mean, I'm really grateful to him and the original team that made the film, because that is one of the most original properties that never ever took off the way that one would thought after that first movie. And it's because inherently you have everything wrapped up in that one story. And so Chad Stahelski, who's the one behind this reboot attempt, wants to turn that story into 3 movies, which to me makes sense, because that way, when you have the final fight, you've told a 3-movie story. It's a big story, and you could spend more time on Connor and his journey. One of the things that's inherent to that story is that Connor isn't someone who's happy about having lived that long. And as you look at certain scenes, I was just talking the other day to someone about it. It's like the scene where he walks into his own personal space with all of these relics of his past. That's not the face of someone that's happy to be there. He's going in there because it's a safe space, in a sense. He can remember everyone he's ever lost. And he's had to make, he's made a lot of friends, and he's lost. He saw everybody he ever cared for die. Kurgan's living to just kill. That's how he deals with it. That's his purpose. He is a living version of the Terminator, and he comes in to kill and disrupt. He enjoys it. He loves it. Connor's not. Connor's a guy that's existing because, he's doing the one thing that has carried over his entire existence, which is the ability to be able to survive and to actually see what it's all about. I think in his mind, he's curious as to what the prize actually is. And he knows, just as Ramirez taught him, that Kurgan can't win. I think he's prepared to lose to anyone else that isn't the Kurgan, because he owes Kurgan big. He at least wants to make sure that the Kurgan's gone. In my mind, he wants to make sure that Kurgan is not a threat anymore. And as the movie goes on,
Hey, Joe.
you know,
Hey, Joe, what's up,
it's
buddy?
Joe.
Well, I wanted to mention something here because when you talk about Highlander, you and especially in the TV series,
Mm-hmm.
you have to give credit to one of the greatest swordsmen for cinema is Bob Anderson, who we lost back in 2012, as I remember.
Yeah.
This guy was involved with everything. This is one thing he's probably best known for right here. He was Darth Vader in the actual lightsaber battle.
Yep.
And he's the one who trained Mark Hamill. He trained Adrian Paul. And now Adrian Paul is a teacher.
Yep.
He took everything that Bob taught him and he opened his own school. And he trained people.
Bob said that Adrian is the best.
That's the thing I was getting ready to say, Martin. Thank you. Yes. That and everybody at the time when it was said, you know, because he was saying, do you know who my best student was? And everybody kept going, let it be Mark Hamill. Let it be Mark Hamill. And no, it wasn't. He says the best student he ever had, Martin. Say it again.
Adrian Paul.
If you didn't understand him, it was Adrian Paul.
I swear to God.
Adrian Paul.
No Corinthian leather for you. What happened?
Oh,
hey, I didn't do it.
It was John. He shook his head. He didn't like it. But,
no rich Corinthian leather for you.
No rich. Adrian Paul. It kind of surprised me hearing that because he trained a lot of good swordsmen in film. His best student was fucking Adrian Paul, and Adrian Paul took to it so well. And he said this at the time that he was a natural swordsman. He had never seen anybody so natural with a sword in their hand. And I went,
that's cool.
Probably came from masturbation, I'm sure.
Oh, the what?
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Keep shaking your head, John. Go ahead. Keep shaking
no.
You hate monetization.
Oh, man. I'm going to hear about this one. Hey, Teague, Silvercut Studios. Love Silvercut Studios. That's really one of the reasons why I want to go to New York. I want to see Silvercut because I really enjoyed that final battle in Highlander. I think anybody that watched that movie, you know, you just want to see that.
And I cannot see Silvercut without hearing Freddie Mercury sing New York, New York.
Oh, geez, that was they should have released that as a single. I still think about that. That could have been amazing to hear how that entire song goes uninterrupted. And wow, they can still release that now.
Yep. By the way, that is true. He was not naturally born in Australia. He was born in the United States. He's from California.
Yep. Yeah. No, he's from New York.
New York? I thought it was California.
No. His family's from New York. Because they were living in New York when his dad won the money and moved them from there to Australia.
The shithole of Australia.
Because his dad didn't want his family around everything that was beginning to happen at the beginning of the late 50s into the early 60s. And so Mel missed everything and was raised where he was raised.
I completely agree with you, Joe. It really is. It's one of my favorite fantasy films.
Oh, when that film came out, there was nothing like it. And really, that was one of the few films that came out, first of all, that was one, original, and two, when you walked out of that movie, your thoughts were like, I wonder, you know? It was one of those films that just got you thinking. And hey, Kyle, that's a really cool idea.
That is a very good suggestion. Of course, this is the actor, if you don't know who he is, that plays Jack Reacher.
Yeah,
in season 2 of Jack Reacher Around.
I wonder how tall he is compared to Henry Cavill. I'm sure he's maybe an inch or two taller than Cavill, but that would work.
We've seen him act crazy. And he just really does He
Wow.
has a perfume of fucking dangerous on him all the time. It's like it pervades him before he walks into a room. I smell danger.
I think that would be awesome to get. Oh, you see, now that you said that, I can't. Antonio Banderas.
Because Antonio
Henry
Banderas
Cavill.
is as awesome as he is not physically menacing.
He doesn't
you
have
know,
to be.
but
And opposite Richardson,
but
Reichen.
playing the part of Ramirez, to see Alan Richardson fucking destroy him, I would fucking that's
6'3".
That's nerd porn.
Oh, that's
A fight
6'3",
between
man.
Richardson and fucking Banderas in the castle.
Oh, jeez.
And then, of
Wow.
course, everybody wants to see Henry Cavill do his take on a Scottish accent, which, by the way, at the period of time that is, good luck understanding the Scottish.
Yeah.
That was English, laddie.
Kevin Kidd's Scottish character in Brave, who would talk and nobody could understand him in the movie. None of the other Scotsmen could understand it. Was a joke because that was actually the accent of the period. Kevin Kidd actually knew how to do it.
Oh.
To where you didn't know what the hell he's saying. It's sort of like the character in the movie The Rundown, played by the Scottish actor from Trainspotting. He'd say something and you'd understand maybe about 1/3 of what he said. He had that accent down.
Hey, Admiral Teague, now that the strike is over, I think they can go ahead and start getting their way towards that. You know, I mean, again,
that's a good age. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I had to interrupt. That's a good age. 63 is a good age for Ramirez.
Yeah.
He's aged slowly over 1,000 years. But please don't pay attention to the second movie where they came from the planet.
Oh,
Zeit,
jeez. Oh,
and he
God,
went
that
through the
was bad.
portal at that age. That's just fucking dumb.
Oh.
They're basically vampires without sucking blood. They get energy by killing each other.
That's right. And only each other. They don't get no energy from killing regular humans. And
I got to tell you, Assassins is a fun film. I like
Yes.
that movie.
Yes.
It's not the best thing ever
It's
made
not
by
Stallone's
Stallone,
best movie,
but I still enjoy the shit out of that movie.
and the lead female is played by that's someone who's, in my opinion, who was too old to play the character at the age that she should have been. And that's oh man. It's not like I have access to the internet or anything.
No.
But I have always thought that was what was strange about that movie Assassins, that they had a great lead actress, but she was way too old for the age of the character, the way they did it in that story. Other than that, it's a good movie.
Okay, so he was born. Here, I'm getting ready to do some math for you real quick. Keep talking, man. I'm getting my calculator out because I hate doing math in my head.
Talking about when was Banderas born?
No.
Oh.
The lead
Connery was
female-
54 when he played Ramirez. Wow. So he's got him by a decade, but I think it's a good age. And I got to tell you,
works.
Banderas looks fucking awesome for his age.
Oh man. And Alan Reichen. Now that you put that in my brain, that's the movie I want to see. Those are the three. That's your film.
We should try to get everybody do this. Start posting pictures and tagging Highlander. Banderas, your picks.
Yeah.
Not just ours, but definitely Banderas and Richardson. God damn, those are good picks. Zax, I got to tell you, man, you don't fucking get it most of the time, but you really nailed it that time.
Really, Zax? What movie is that? Richardson and Cavill
What?
in a Guy Ritchie movie? What movie is that?
It hasn't come out yet. I'm not finding anything. What is it? As he said?
No, Sax, you cannot drop that bomb and go silent. Oh, ungentlemanly. Somebody
Yes.
who speaks English.
And
Please.
gentlemanly warfare.
Oh,
Yeah, that's not out yet. But I think it got pushed back too.
You know,
I'm so glad this is over. The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. And he is in it with Cavill. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to fucking see this. And pit them against each other? Fuck yeah. Make a second movie together.
So Brenda, the character of Brenda in Highlander, the big question is, who would you cast as Brenda, being the female lead? I don't know who you would cast, but it's important to also cast Connor's first wife.
Yes.
It's very important.
His first wife needs to be a beautiful ginger.
Oh no, that's great by now.
He was saying something, then disappeared. I don't know what happened.
You know very well what happened.
You don't talk shit about gingers, motherfucker.
No, especially when I'm married to one.
By the way, how was her birthday?
Was very very familiar, very very quiet, full of love.
Did you make a cake? We don't need to hear about your sexing her up. We want to hear
No, no, but I gifted her 2 statuettes that she went crazy for.
Well, wait. When was her birthday?
2 days ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
2 days ago?
2 days ago. And Keith's was yesterday. He went out with his brothers and with Scott and Dawn and Mel.
I wanted to keep everything kind of low key
because James and Mike were both there.
Yeah.
Mel, Scott, and Dawn.
Yeah.
I wasn't invited.
I would have invited you had I known we were,
I'm just thinking I'm broke.
I wanted to keep everything kind of low key because this is my first birthday, without my mom.
Yeah,
and,
I know. And you called me right afterward, which was really nice.
Yeah, I just I was just trying to keep everything kind of low key because I was that was a constant reminder because she was always very good at remembering everybody's birthdays. I'm telling you, had she not gotten sick and had met Gary, she would have remembered his birthday every year. Probably would have texted you, been the first person to contact you whenever your birthday rolled around.
Which is funny because I really don't give two shits.
I know, but she would have remembered it. And this year it was very sobering when it hit midnight and I didn't hear anything. And I just want to thank my daughter because she was the first person that contacted me, kind of like what my mom used to do. And I love her for that,
Yeah.
But it was good. And again, I want to thank everybody. I never realized I had that many people that really felt moved enough to contact me on my birthday. And I'm still in the middle of sending out all the thank yous. It was good. I had a good birthday.
And Charlie's birthday was this week too.
Yeah, Charlie. Jeez.
Charlie celebrated his birthday in a convalescence home because he's convalescing. He was recovering nicely from his surgery, but they didn't remove the staples from his back.
Oh,
like they were supposed to. They were ordered to, and I told him, I said, get an attorney because he got an infection, and he got hospitalized. Damn near killed him.
Wow.
And because somebody didn't remove the staples, because people don't understand it. Unlike the thread used in medical thread, that stuff disintegrates. You don't often have to have your stitches removed. They disintegrate. Staples won't. And they're a constant reminder that your body is open wherever it's making contact with the metal to infection. And if not properly cared for, you get what's referred to as a nosocomial infection, which means an infection given to you in a clinical setting. And that's what happened. He got staph infection in his back, and it started to spread. And if it had gone septic, which is the same thing I went through in the hospital, if it goes septic, you're fucked. So thank God he got through that. But now, because it costs so much to stay in a hospital, what they want to do is move you over to a facility where you can convalesce, recover. So he's surrounded by a bunch of really old people. He says, I pretty much stay in my room. But they got really good Jello. I send your prayers out for Charlie. He's one of my oldest friends. I've been friends with him for 44 years. Just a lovable, wonderful guy. We were roommates for a while back in the 80s. The upcoming Guy Ritchie, Henry Cavill flick is apparently based on the team that Churchill and Ian Fleming founded. Oh, the Troublemakers. Yes. My God, they would go behind enemy lines and just fuck with the enemy.
Okay, we got to go see this, Gary.
Yeah,
we got
the Department of Dirty Tricks.
We got to go see this.
Yeah, big fan of Guy Ritchie, except for that Robin Hood movie, man, which is garbage.
Yeah, The Gentleman was fun, and
Ritchie's only made two bad movies: the one he made with Madonna and Robin Hood. That's a good career.
Yeah. Guy Ritchie. He's good. He's really good, and I really enjoyed his version of The Man from U.N.C.L.E. also.
He was great. If not for that fucking cannibal prick that played his partner, they should have done another film.
They should have. They had a great cast. And wow. Yeah. Today, I must say, I've been very impressed with our ability to be able to cast Highlander for them. Starting off with Gary's suggestion. Inspired is what I can say. Inspired suggestion. And
Antonio Banderas as Ramirez.
If we can just think of a redhead that can
I should get like an AI take Sean Connery and have the AI put Banderas' voice saying that line. My name is Juan Sanchez Ramirez Valdez.
I thought it was Juan Sanchez Villalobos.
To the fair.
I thought it was Juan Sanchez Villalobos Ramirez.
Yeah, that's it. Bart Giamatti as Prince John was just the worst. I don't know who Bart Giamatti is. Who the fuck is that? I got to tell you, what I did like about that movie, though, was they actually brought William Marshall to life with John Hurt. Or William Hurt. William Hurt.
Yeah.
William played, because what people don't know is there was not a real Robin Hood like that. The person who kicked John and his French army out of England was William Marshall. He's the one who caught him doing what he was going to do, because he was the Marshal of England. Caught him, took him and trapped him in a castle. They had a battle, and John's army surrendered, and they, with their tails between their legs, were kicked out of England, and Marshall himself personally escorted him to the ships and says, "Don't come back until you have a crown."
Wow.
I read this one.
Why am I so sure if Kathleen Kennedy was making this movie, the Highlander would be Phoebe Waller-Bridge and Timothy Chalamet? Is very
wow.
He's very, because who was it that just recently said something about masculinity in film? Somebody just said something major about that, and I'm like, he's right. Timothy Chalamet is not a masculine actor at all. There's nothing masculine about him. And there's this new casting of emasculated males in men's roles that this new neo-fascist Hollywood, neo-feminist fascist, it's, I'm not going to use the other word that they use, feminazi is what they would call them. And because they are fascists. And they're just making everything. Men are always emasculated in roles like that. But I got to tell you, I still like him in Doom. I thought he did a really good job as Paul Atreides.
Yeah,
and I can't wait till I can't wait till the part 2 comes out.
In which he looks exactly like the same scrawny kid.
He's scrawny. But as we said in the army, a buddy of mine said this to me, I might be wired, but I'm more like spaghetti, so I'll be all over you in a fight. And I went, oh, very good. I like that one. I'll be all over you in a fight. Like spaghetti.
Hey, Admiral Teague, they've already chosen Superman.
Who did they pick? I haven't been paying any attention to it. Just don't.
His name is David Cornsweet, and basically he looks like Henry Cavill,
younger,
like from 20 years ago. And
yes, I remember this dude. He really does. It's like we don't want Henry Cavill.
He's too old.
Clone. We want a clone.
And he's not that much younger than Cavill. He's only 2 years younger.
No, this is the big fuck up that I keep talking about. I don't know if it's pride or ego. It's one or the other that made him fire Cavill. There's no legitimate argument on his part, and Gunn can go fuck himself.
Now they have a really good actress for Lois, and I wouldn't mind seeing her in the role. But wow, how do you not have a guy who first and foremost not only looks the part, but he enjoys being the character so much. He embodies everything that you want him to embody. He doesn't go after the fans. He's not a jerk on social media. In fact, he does something that other fans do. That we tell a girl that we're going to build our own PC. They roll their eyes and yawn. Henry Cavill decides to make an entire couple of videos, and women can't wait to get his clothes off. I mean,
well, I got to tell you, Rachel Brosnahan is really fucking good. I loved her in the Marvelous Miss Maisel.
Mm-hmm.
I still have to introduce Anima to that.
Look at this comment from Admiral Teague.
Ellie Page.
Jeez.
Oh, it could be Jennifer Lawrence. She's the first Superman,
Jennifer Lawrence.
Well, Rachel is fucking gorgeous, first of all.
Yeah.
They actually have someone that looks kind of like what Lois Lane should look like. My hope is that she can pull off the moxie.
Look, if she was ever cast opposite Cavill, especially if Cavill has to work out for the role, may have to do with the same thing as he did with the last Lois, because she could not keep her hands off of him.
Nope. But she's a goddess too. I have a thing for her. She's a ginger. But I think that Teague says, I think they fired Cavill because they were broke. And this is the irony of what it was. We don't need Cavill because he's not a big enough star. Then it becomes big enough star. We can't afford Cavill.
Yeah. Yeah. I would agree with that.
Fucking stupid.
Yeah, but who's heard of corn sweat? I mean, come on.
I've had the corn sweats.
But I'm look,
I ate too much corn one night, man. Next day I was pooping peanuts. I'm like, what the hell?
I got nothing against this guy. Seriously, I don't know what he's like. I've not seen him in anything. He may even be a really cool, nice guy. But I'm telling you right now, you got to feel bad for him because he does look so much like Cavill. They could be related.
There's going to be a lot of comparisons too when it comes out. I don't want to wish anybody ill will. My problem is, unlike you, because I know how you feel about Gunn. I don't trust him. I don't like him. I've been following him since the early days when he just had a blog. And I told you about what he said on one of those blogs about this 12-year-old girl shit on his brother, the one that's like the actor. They're at Six Flags and they're going on the water ride, and he was kind of hemming and hawing about getting on the ride. And apparently, this girl's, basically called him a fucking pussy. So people are waiting, get on the ride. And he wrote in his blog, I can hardly wait till she turns 18 so I can fuck her. And I did a double take on like, what the fuck did he just say? And he was trying to be edgy with his humor. That's the thing with me. I don't think he's a perv. I just think that he's always trying to be edgy and doesn't always really think about what he was saying back in those days. Mm-hmm. And it got him into trouble. And that's why, he once again was one of those people who had to delete some of the stuff that he posted in the past.
Yeah. And Alan Horn fired him because he was the guy at Disney, and he made the decision, and Iger had to go with it. I'm pretty sure Iger wasn't happy, but how do you fight that from Alan Horn? Other than
Jon Favreau, he was the only one really making the most profitable films.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think they're right to bring him back. I think he's good for Marvel. I don't think he's good for DC. And why do I say this? Again, I stick by my statement. He's irreverent. And you don't need irreverent directors at DC unless they're working on the characters that were irreverent. Like, he'd probably be good at Plastic Man.
Oh, God, he would be fantastic for Plastic Man.
That's the right kind of character for him. But Superman? No. He proved with the stupid movie Bright Shine or whatever that movie
Brightburn.
Brightburn.
I'm like, so you created a male Mary Sue villain that nobody could fucking stop. I'm like, Jesus, instead of going with the Omen, because that's really what he's doing. He mixed the Omen and Superman. And in the Omen, there were opportunities where if they had done the right things, they could have killed Damien and stopped the Antichrist from happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
None of that in his film. This was a completely impervious fucking monster. That's not interesting. What's interesting is that there needs to be that chance. People need that chance. And when you say that chance never existed, when you show the dad doing what he does and his mother doing what she did, what did you tell us? Nothing. You told us nothing. You gave us a nothing story. People who like that film, I'm like going, you don't understand character structure at all. If you like that,
well,
you don't understand character structure.
It's like somebody asked a question on
or story
X yesterday. Hey, did you or did you not like the Batman? And I stated that I didn't. Or what? No, it was what would you rate it? And I gave it a 6.5 out of 10.
Yeah. And by the way, Kingsport, I'm not putting you down. I'm just telling you, people who say they like that movie don't understand story structure or character.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't. They enjoy film, and God love them for it. They'll watch almost anything, and Hollywood loves that because that's where a lot of their money is made from. But then you get people like me who are, educated in writing and learn how to write stories and understand structure, theme, plot is a device. It's not necessary for a story, but it's neat when you can throw a plot in, but it's not needed. You can tell a story without a plot. We segued to Man of Steel because that movie makes anti-sense. What?
I mean, with the Batman, you just had stupidity in a Batman suit. I mean, it's a Batman story, but the actual
that's the writing. I blame the writing on that.
Is dumb. It's dumb. You have these two characters supposed to be the smartest in comics. Gordon and Batman are two of the smartest people you could ever have. In that movie, they are dumb. And it's the movie Seven told with Batman, and it's stupid. Thus, it's Dumb Seven, really. It's Dumb Seven.
Yeah, it's like nobody could answer me when I said this. I said, what great detective work did the two main detectives do? Give me one instance of any brilliant detection.
Even use Google to look up what that tool was.
I'm sure DC has some sort of Google in their universe. You know, and I love it when Fat Steven goes, open the door, I'm Batman.
Because I don't care if it's 2 years into his career. That was just a lot of asinine. I mean, you train with some of the best fighters. You're supposed to be this guy that knows how to sneak up on people. And the first time you see him in the movie and he's making all this noise, he might as well be saying, hey, bad guys, stand right there. I'm coming. Wait right there. I'll be there. Hold on.
The only thing in that movie that I enjoyed, now I'm not going to even bother with the whole, how did the Batmobile get there without anybody seeing it? But that whole Batmobile scene with the Penguin was the movie for me. That's the only thing I enjoyed. I fucking love that. And I really did enjoy Farrell as the Penguin.
Yes.
He was the highlight of the film. I
made
hated the Riddler. I hated the Riddler, but it was stupid.
That wasn't the Riddler. That was a
No, it
serial
was Steven.
killer.
It was
Steven.
That Fagula from Seven.
Well, it was. They were doing Professor.
I just
Pig.
use Yiddish to say something that's really not appropriate.
It's Professor Pig is what they were doing, but because Professor Pig was not a quote unquote character that they could make toys of easily, even though I disagree. Let's make him the Riddler. It's like, what about the Riddler made him a serial killer?
Well,
in any incarnation in the comic.
Stole stuff right out of the Halloween story, which I didn't think was all that great. I get it, some people liked it. I read it. I have it. I think Killing Joke was better. Don't say that to Graham though, or Chuck.
Yeah,
they hate that. I liked it. I liked the fact that I like ending on a joke like that. In fact, I stole that for one of my own stories, but it's not really original, and that's why I make fun of Alan Moore. Alan Moore is considered this great genius writer, and I went, everything he wrote was derived from something else.
Yep,
everything.
In a smart way with some of it, but
some of it is very clever, like League of
Extraordinary Gentlemen is a very smart story.
Conceptually, that was really good.
Yeah.
Again, derivative. Every single character in it is from another story created by somebody else. He just played with them, and he's good. He's good at that. He's like that kid that you knew that you would go in the sandbox and play cowboys with the little action figures or soldiers and play war. That would come with great ideas, but then you're like, I could have done that on my own. You didn't do that.
But the animated Killing Joke.
No, I'm not saying it's not good. It's not fucking fantastic by any margin of the measure for me. And that's why I'm a critic. But I still enjoyed it, but I don't know. I feel like they had so many good ideas and they didn't pull it off as well as they should have. There was another Riddler story that I really liked. They animated it too. What was that one called? It was one of the last good animated films with Catwoman, Batman versus the Riddler.
Oh
man, I gotta look it up. It was really pretty good.
You know what? The Killing Joke animated was not as good as it should have been.
If they had just left out the opening scene, it would have been just fine.
Gosh, how could you do that? I mean, it's just like, hey,
that's Robin's girlfriend.
Yeah, it's like,
Hush.
hey,
Hush. I liked Hush.
Yeah, Hush was good.
I like the comics, and I like the. I read it as a trade paperback. Hush.
Yeah.
I don't read comics. I don't like comics because I want my entire story one reading. I don't want to fucking wait at 30 days to find out what happens next. Oh yeah, the Batgirl stuff was absolutely cringe. And you know, the person responsible that thought that was a good idea should absolutely be taken out in public on a stage and be allowed to be kicked in the dick or vag by 12 midget dwarfs. I don't care if they're midgets or dwarfs, either one. Just tiny people, little people should be allowed to run up and just kick them right in the junk. They have to be kneeling down, you know, on their knees, and fucking little people just run up and go, boom.
Oh, jeez.
That would be the revenge for that fucking brilliant.
I don't think Peter Dinklage would approve.
Did you say Peter's Dinklage?
Why?
Some people actually get that treatment.
Why do I bother you?
Your accent confuses and frightens me. If you don't know what that is, I've been using that joke this week because I'm in the top percentile of humans that have the most Neanderthal in my DNA. Which Anima says that explains so much about you, why you're such a dick. And so I immediately go to Phil Hartman as was it Thawed? Was it Thawed? Caveman lawyer? Unfrozen caveman lawyer. That was it. What do I know? I'm just a caveman that was frozen and thawed by modern scientists. Your ways confuse and frighten me.
Oh, Miss Phil Hartman.
Oh my God, I fucking love that. I miss Phil Hartman, man. I started introducing Anima to Phil Hartman stuff, including news radio, and I told her, I said, it's hard to watch the final season, because he'd been murdered.
Yeah,
and I used to like what's his name, the liar guy from SNL, John Lovitz.
Yeah.
But I started hating him for a while, just during that period, because he was no replacement for Phil Hartman, and that's what they did, is they brought him on the show. But later, when I found out that he smacked the shit out of Andy Dick at his club, because he owned the club, John Lovitz did, and fucking Andy Dick said that he put the Phil Hartman curse, because it's Andy Dick's fault that Phil Hartman's dead. And people that don't know that, it's like, you got to go back and find out that Brienne, Phil's wife, had been clean for a while. She was a drug addict, alcoholic, and they went to a party, and Andy Dick gave her drugs, talked her into taking it. She kept saying no. He kept bugging her. It's okay. It's just a bump. And then she went on a bender, and she was on Zoloft, I think it was. You mix that shit with I can't remember. It might not be Zoloft. It was some sort of prescription medication that, when mixed with recreational drugs, can actually make you psychotic. And so she shot him in the back of the head when he went to bed. Went and got a friend, came back, took her. What wasn't reported until recently, when Joe Rogan broke the story, she was in the bathroom with the gun with her children. And there's a fear that she was going to kill the children. But the police came into the house, and she was cowering in the bathroom, and instead she shot herself, and her children ran away from her before she did.
Wow.
They panicked and ran. And that's why a lot of people, when they find out about this, are like, oh my God, was she going to hurt her children? Killed her husband, and we're going to kill her kids and herself? Joe Rogan just talked about it, dude. It's that was something I wasn't even aware of. I knew that they were in the house, but I had always thought they were in their bedroom. And that's not what happened.
Wow.
And it's heartbreaking, because it would have never happened if Andy Dick hadn't done what he did.
So no wonder He slapped
it
the
led
mess
to
out of
what's referred to as the Phil Hartman curse. And so when he showed up at John Lovitz's comedy club there at his restaurant, because they have a separate club, and said that he waved his fingers at him to put the Phil Hartman curse on you, and fucking John Lovitz started smacking him. You can't imagine him throwing punches. Just smacking him like a penguin. And went to town on him. Apparently knocked the shit out of him. Any dick. He ruined his own life. You know, you got to feel bad for him, but how far does that go? Is he out of prison? Did he get out?
I
I know he
no
went to
idea.
jail for a while.
I don't pay attention to what that jackass does.
So he was homeless before he went to jail. And then he got arrested, charged and arrested and convicted on sexual assault of one of the people he was staying with. And that was just bound to happen because of his behavior. It's ridiculous. But that's it. I want to end the show. I brought it down. I better end it. We've gone over 45 minutes.
Wait. Did we talk about all the trailers?
Yeah, I brought every single one of them up.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We talked about Fall Guy.
Yep.
We talked about Ghostbusters. We talked about Guy Ritchie's thing, which I was very disappointed with that trailer. I don't know about you guys. And we talked about the Marvels, which just I don't think it's not tracking well from what I read last night.
Yeah, that movie's in trouble.
No, he was still there. Eddie Dick was still on the show, but he was not popular on that show with the cast because of his involvement. But he stayed, as I recall, he stayed to the end. Yes, he was. I think the most embarrassing thing he ever did was when he was on Rosie O'Donnell's show. You know what? As I look back, I think she would have been better as Barney Rubble than Betty.
Ouch. Well, that's true. Who would you have cast as Betty?
Somebody hot.
Of course.
Because she's based on Trixie from The Honeymooners.
Yep.
A John Wick anime is in development. I got to tell you, Pulse doesn't jump over that after seeing the fourth film. It's one thing that Polly and I agree on. And speaking of Polly will be our guest tomorrow on TGIF. Sadly, Keith is not going to be with us. And that bugs me because Polly loves you.
I think the world of Polly. I mean, last time I talked to him, I happened to be on another show, and Polly came through. In fact, he was here last week, too.
Oh, my God. Jennifer Connelly would absolutely.
Jennifer Connelly? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Is Betty? Yeah, Fred would have done her.
Oh, my God.
Hey, Bon, why don't you go next door with my wife, and I'm going to hang out with yours. Bon. Hey, Fred, what are you getting at? Fred. Anyway. Lister and the cat from Red Dwarf prefer Wilma Flintstone. Wilma was pretty hot, but Trixie was absolutely the cuter of the two.
Yeah.
Well,
Wilma was more of a firebrand. I mean, if you like that type where she could just like, if you want her to hit you and stuff, yeah.
But if you go back to the Honeymooners, absolutely. What's Ralph's wife's name? I just forgot her name.
Trixie.
Oh no,
Trixie.
Trixie
is Gleason's wife.
Ed Norton's wife.
Ed Norton's. I've got him confused then. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh my God! Hold on. This is going to drive me crazy. Oh my gosh! It was Audrey Meadows played her. Alice Cramden. Of the two, Alice Cramden was the hotter between her and Trixie. Hands down. God, she was so beautiful. In fact, they didn't think she was right for the part because she was so fucking beautiful. And then she did the first scene with him and won Gleason over.
Yep.
And this is, by the way, this is a show that a lot of people don't know this about. Jackie Gleason was paid an enormous amount of money, like millions, to not make The Honeymooners anymore because it was hurting the other network. The other network paid him to stop making The Honeymooners.
Have you ever heard that before? Has there been anybody else in history that had to get paid
to not
stop
do something because it was so good? Just never hear of shit like that. And it's to my knowledge, it is the only time that ever happened in television. It's the only one. I can't think of anybody else that happened to.
Well, Jackie Gleason was that good. He was just that powerful at one time. And between having the number one show and then also having another show where he was in charge of the music. I mean, he was multi-talented in the truest
Jackie
sense.
Gleason and his orchestra.
Yeah.
Because he was a composer and conductor. He was a big jazz guy. A lot of people don't know that. But yeah, like Shinatsky's, one of these days, Alice, one of these days, I'm going to beat the shit out of you.
Bang, zoom.
Yeah, you do. Bang, zoom.
Demonetized.
He would just, you would see the fist, he'd shake, mumbling under his breath.
That's how he got away with it.
Yeah, it's like, but in reality, and they talk about the threats of violence, but the fact is, you know, Ralph was so in love with his wife and afraid of his wife.
Mm-hmm.
He was afraid of her. That's why he would, the great, you know, Alice would catch him and he'd go, he was so scared of her.
The guy was so dominant. That's the reason why he got
And
that
she would just
nickname.
stare at him when he would threaten her.
Jackie Gleason's nickname was the Great One.
The Great One.
He was the first person I ever knew of that had that nickname.
Now here's a question for you, Keith. What did Alice do every single time he threatened her? What was she doing physically?
She just looked at him, and usually
looking at him with her hands on her
hips and
no
tapping
flinch, no fear.
Yeah,
she
and
was
tapping her
not
foot,
afraid of that man.
Which is
and that's
how
why people try to say that he was an abusive character. It's like, not if you watch Alice, you know that's not true.
Well,
because her reaction to him told you everything.
Yeah, but that's also how they did Wilma on the Flintstones. Whenever Fred got mad, and I mean mad, watch Wilma. She'd have her hands in her hips with a foot tapping, sometimes rolling her eyes.
Are you through? Are you through, Fred? I liked it because it really was. Flintstones were nothing more than prehistoric honeymooners.
Yeah, honeymooners.
And they were so afraid of being sued that the first season, Mel Blanc did the voice differently.
Yeah.
But once it was found out that they weren't going to be sued, that actually Jackie Gleason was fine with the show. That's when he started doing the voice more like Ed Norton.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Fred. Hey, Fred.
And,
I love that.
And a lot of Hanna-Barbera cartoons are actually based on real television shows that were hits. You know, and again,
Deputy Dog was Andy Griffith.
Yep. Scooby-Doo was Dobie Gillis.
Dobie Gillis, that's right. Including the dog. They had a dog on the show. Every character is based on a character off of Dobie Gillis.
Yep.
And oddly, Shaggy is based off of Maynard G. Krebs, who would go on to be Gilligan from Gilligan's Island.
That's right.
Absolutely. And the nerdy girl on the show.
Yeah.
That was Velma.
That was Velma, the original Velma. Just type up Dobie Gillis.
And of course, we say Dobie Gillis. The actual name of the show was The Many Loves of Dobie Gillis.
Mm-hmm.
Kathleen Kennedy got paid to not make anything. That's what we keep praying for, and it doesn't happen. I'm serious. My path back to finding my faith is because of Kathleen Kennedy. Thank you, Martin, for getting that joke. Everybody else in the room, like, I don't get it.
I was snickering.
I never knew that about Scooby Dubby Gillis. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
long before there were any books that mentioned it. This is something those of us that grew up in that period knew.
Mhm.
What's the other one? Snaggletooth. Top Hat Cat was Phil Silvers from what was that show that he did?
The Phil Silvers show, but it was the one about him being the
Yeah, because Steve Martin.
Yeah, Steve Martin remade it. It was
Oh my God, what was it called?
No, I gotta look.
Oh, I'm getting a brain fart. All of them, but Snaggletooth, exit stage. I can't remember. What was Snaggletooth based on? I mean, people don't even know Bugs Bunny is based on Clark Gable. Yeah, I know. Weird, right?
Also, Jetsons is actually based on 2 shows.
It's
one of the
Hazel.
Sergeant Bilko.
Sergeant Bisco.
Thank you, Sergeant
Thank
Bilko.
you.
I think Wolverine.
Hazel is the main thing that they took from the voice of the actor who played the man of the house. Hazel was the maid, same type voice that the robot has.
Yep.
The daughter and son, everything is just like it. But then they also borrowed from other stuff, which was what was the other one they borrowed?
I thought it was the Donna Reed show, but I wasn't sure.
I wouldn't be surprised. Donna Reed would be a good one.
But it's a lot of what Seth MacFarlane does with his shows, because all his shows, the animated shows, are actually based on amalgamations of other shows. But that's what Hanna-Barbera did for years.
In fact, the most recent episode of Family Guy, he and Lois, Peter and Lois, are running in the air, and it's making that running sound from the Hanna-Barbera cartoons.
Yep.
And she's like, "What's happening?" He goes, "Don't worry. Eventually, we'll get traction and just disappear." It just made me laugh. It wasn't even a funny episode, but that made me laugh.
It's wow. It's great to have, men of a certain age that can let everybody in on this kind of knowledge. So yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a show I miss. Men of a Certain Age. I like that show. 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Got more.
Should have got more.
It's like you had Bakula, what's it, Raymond, everybody loves Raymond.
Yeah.
Ray Romano.
Ray Romano.
Adrian Bauer was in it. Just what a great
Andre
Bauer. I fucking love that guy. One of the only reasons why I watched the show he was on, was it Homicide? Was because of him.
Yep.
And my favorite episode to this day with him is one with Vincent D'Onofrio when he gets pinned against the platform in the subway train.
Yeah, that was good.
It breaks my heart to this day because he's going to die. Once they unpin him, and he's like, the frustration. It's like, this is my new life. I can live this way, and he doesn't want to die. And he says, "I'm going to die because people have to get to work. That's why I have to die." And just what a powerful performance. And I believe that that's what got him the show that he did for Dick Wolf.
Yeah.
What a name, Dick Wolf.
The name, everybody, somebody, okay, let me answer this for you. It's Zelda Gilroy is the character that Velma is based on from Dobie Gillis. Her name is Zelda.
Because even though it was called The Many Loves of Dobie Gillis, it was one main female that he was interested in.
Yeah, there was actually a woman by the name of Thalia, and she gorgeous woman. Warren Beatty also was on the show off and on.
Yes, he was.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he was.
This.
Wow. Wow.
First of all, anybody with the name Richard that goes by the name Dick is asking for to be fucked with. I wanted to go by my middle name, my first middle name, which is Richard. My second middle name is Patrick. I just wanted to remake myself when I started in a new school, and it was the biggest mistake I ever made. Going by Richard, because immediately people started calling me Dick, and I went, "Okay, I'm done with this. My name is Gary. Don't call me that." Yeah, Dick Small, Dick York, Dick Sargent. By the way, if there's a YouTube channel, if you've not watched it, that really goes in depth into Bewitched, and it's a very well done show where they show interviews you've never seen before, where they talked about stuff behind the scenes, and you could see that like Elizabeth Montgomery is very uncomfortable saying anything negative, but she,
her husband ran the show.
Whereas in Dora, I forget her name, great actress. When she's being interviewed, holy shit, she hated Dick's. She didn't like Dick York, but she hated Dick Sargent, and she would make him cry on the set, and she threatened to out him.
Agnes Moorehead
threatened to out him many a time on set. She was a ball breaker. She did not like him. And she doesn't mince words. She was one of those just hard ladies, man. It just didn't fuck around. And she hates. And she, in one of the interviews, it's a black and white interview, even though the TV was in color at that point. The show was in color. The interview is in black and white. And she's talking about method actors. She hates them. I hate those people. They don't know how to act. They wouldn't have to use method if they knew how to act.
Oh, yeah, hard.
Olivier felt that way too. And Vincent Price and Boris Karloff were not fans of method actors. And I think it was it Vincent Price during his scene with what is his name? Jack Nicholson in one of the Edgar Allan Poe movies that a great director did. Oh my God. I just forgot his name. The guy that made all the B horror sci-fi movies.
Corman?
Oh, Corman, thank you.
Yeah.
It was on Roger Corman's, I think it was, I was about to say it was the Pit and Pillion. It's not that one. It's the other Edgar Allan Poe story. But anyway, I got to tell you, man, Nicholson got physical with Price, and Price got pissed. He says, "You don't have to throw me, young man. Just pretend to. I'll do fine."
Bye, Penny.
Bye, Penny.
Bye, Penny.
Have a good time, Penny.
It has been over.
I wrote a
3
song
hours,
called "The Long
so-
Goodbye." I have a song called "The Long Goodbye."
What's that phrase that you love so much? Man, you surely take your time to say goodbye.
You should take your time to say goodbye.
It's a Midwest goodbye.
That was it. Thank you, The Raven. And by the way, before we end, let's end on this, a positive note. I actually shockingly liked Murphy did with The Fall of the House of Usher.
Really?
I actually ended up liking it. I was iffy in parts because I think he thinks he's smarter than he actually is. And I think that he should have stuck closer to but what he did is he threw all of the great stories. And I knew how it was going to end. That it was going to be the Cask of Montiagago. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but I've been saying it since I was a little kid that way. And it was one of my favorite stories where the critic gets bricked up in the wall. I knew that was what they were going to do. I'm like going, because they showed 2 scenes where he's sitting there talking to a wall. And I'm like, his fucking boss is in that wall. I knew it. The first time they showed it, they showed that wall. I'm like, he's behind that wall. And of course, in the final episode, you see that he and his sister brick him up in there and leave him in the foundation of the building that they're now running, the company. It's a dark, dark story. And Greenwood is fucking great in this show. Everybody did a
What's the
great job. Bruce Greenwood is amazing in this show.
What's the name of that show again?
Fall of the House of Usher on Netflix.
I'll have to watch that.
Macchiato, is that it? Count of Macchia. Yeah, I love that story. It's a guy who felt that his winery was destroyed by this critic, and so he lures him in.
Macchiato is a type of coffee.
Yeah.
I thought it was a macchiato, but anyway, I read it when I was in the 4th grade, and it stuck with me. I haven't read it since the 4th grade. I'm going to have to go back and get me a copy of all the works of Edgar Allan Poe, because my childhood was reading that shit. People wonder why I'm so weird. Yeah, I read Edgar Allan Poe when I was like elementary level. You know, all the other kids were reading like nursery children's book. I was reading Edgar Allan Poe, Tom Sawyer, Black Beauty, A Man Without a Country. God, I was reading classic literature. My dad fed my head very well with great literature. But it is a great story. And he does it really good. You even have the Telltale Heart in there. I saw that coming too, a mile away. They show a scene with the one character in their office talking to somebody else, and you hear this electronic heartbeat. And she's like, "Did you hear that?" I'm like, no. But then there's a scene later where she's like, "Do you hear that?" And the dad, Bruce Greenwood, says, "Yes, I do. What is that?" And I'm not going to tell you what happens next. It's fucking awesome. A little over the top. Some people complained. I was fine with it.
Well, thank you very much, Gary. Thank you, John. Thank you, Martin. Thank you to everybody that we had in the chat today. I think we had a very interactive chat. I think we got up to about 20. Wow.
Thank you, Tim.
This is going to be my last show for a little bit. So I will see everyone.
He's going away.
Far away.
He's going to Vegas.
I got to tell you, I've had friends going back to my childhood. I've never had a friend that went on vacation more than you. I'm serious,
well,
always on vacation. I'm like, fuck, man. You go to places I love.
Yeah, my other schedules these things, and I just go because
I know
I am so difficult to live with.
You're just a tourist.
I am.
Right.
I am.
Well, Mel's a great camp director. That's one of the cool things about her. She's always got plans. She does. That's the way she is. And I got to tell you, camp directors make life far more interesting. They really do. Because if you and I were left to our own devices, we would hang out in a room and play video games. That's vacation.
That or go down and
talking to other people.
Badly.
But I'm sorry I interrupted the show, but at the same time, I just wanted to hang out with you because I knew this was going to be my last chance to hang out with you.
Love it when you hang out. So again, thank you to everybody. Thank you for all of the birthday greetings and wishes.
This many years we've been friends. Technically,
At
I think
least
it's longer than that.
A little
years.
longer.
I think it's 12 years.
Longer.
But on Facebook, this many.
So everybody, I will see everybody next week, and hopefully Hollywood will at least stay a little sane while I'm gone.
All I know is I'm going to get paid again because I've been out of work because of the strike, and now I'm going to be back to work again. Yay!
Congratulations. So, as I said before, for Martin, John, our good friend and colleague Gary.
Gary.
I've been Keith. And may you have a much, much, much better day. Thank you. See you later.
Bye.